Hello, everybody. Hello, Ruel. How are you doing?
Hi, you caught me looking at my phone right now. I wasn't prepared.
Surprise!
But the good thing is I'm back at home. It is
Yay!
so, oh my gosh.
Yay!
And that's actually one of the things I was answering was someone from the restoration company got back to me about some things that we're still taking care of. Mainly the thing is, you see behind me, there's no games.
No,
There are
there are
no
none.
games. Yeah. So they're in storage right now. I'm working right now to get them ASAP back from storage. And I think the day is going to be either Friday or Saturday of this week. So thank goodness
Yes.
I'll finally feel a home, truly home again. But anyways, yeah, it's been an ordeal, but it's almost over, and I'm feeling sort of like punchy. I'm just like, how much more can you know? So not only did I have the whole fiasco of plumbing issues and everything else, but I also had a tooth pulled during this time. I had one.
Yes.
Remember that? That
Yep.
was fun. Other stuff went down that I'm not sharing. It's just like, you know what? I'm just happy to be home, So, anyways,
Just
enough
in
about that.
time for
Just
Thanksgiving.
yes, exactly.
Look at
And that was
that.
the thing. I was so worried we weren't going to be home for Thanksgiving, but we are. So I am more than happy about that. How are you doing, by the way?
I'm doing okay. No ongoing pressing issues here. I'm still more curious about your situation. So, I mean, is like your entire house in storage, or did they like? Because they had to work in a lot of different rooms, right? So, or was it only your
Yeah.
game room that they had to completely strip down and store?
The game room was the one that was totally stripped down and stored, but also they had to access the master bedroom closet, which has one of the pipes that was they had to fix. So the closet in the master bedroom was torn out. They took stuff out, and then thankfully we kept a bunch of stuff, but it was literally just in these big boxes in the living room. I mean, it's so I'm putting all that stuff, just hiding stuff right now because we've got people coming over for Thanksgiving. So I need to get the living room all good to go. But I'm almost there. I am just so happy to be home, man. It
I
feels
can't. I can't even imagine that.
yeah. It's just nice to sleep in my own bed again. Gosh,
Yep.
I missed it. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I mean, the pugs are happy they're home. Meeple and Mook, they're back in their habitat. They're happy and healthy, and I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. It's been a while since I've had a turkey. My brother is so I have two younger brothers. I take care of a lot of the side dishes, and then my middle brother, he's the one that cooks the turkey. And then my youngest brother, it's been a running joke since ever we're little kids. He brings the potato chips. That's his job. So,
Your younger brother is
I'm,
clearly the smartest one, it would seem.
he has always been the smartest one of us three. But what about you? Are you looking forward to Thanksgiving or a Turkey Day or
We
whatnot?
are going to jump in the RV and drive down to Salem, Oregon, which is, I don't know, it's like 100 miles from here or something like that. And we're meeting up at, well, not Jen's. I want to say Jen's folks, but that's not the case. Jen's folks for years had lived in Arizona. But about 2.5 years ago, they came up for a visit, staying in kind of like the guest bedroom of, I think it'd be a cousin of Jen's. And so they were staying. And then COVID hit. And then they stayed. And then they stayed. And then they stayed. And they finally just moved in.
Oh,
Yeah, just a few months ago, finally ended up selling the place in Arizona, because they're from the Pacific Northwest. Most families in the Pacific Northwest. So I want to say we're going down to theirs, but we're actually going down to Shannon Rob's. But it is now the epicenter because that is really where Ed and Nancy are, so everybody's converging there. And Shannon and
nice.
Rob have their own RV, but they have a big enough driveway that they swear their RV and our RV will fit. So
Wow.
we'll put that to the test. And so we're gonna go there, do Thanksgiving, spend the night in the RV, and then the original plan was do some stuff on Friday, and then head west and do some more stuff on the coast and do another long weekend like we did. I don't know, a few weeks ago. But we were just looking at the weather last night, and it is going to be cold and wet and miserable everywhere in the Pacific Northwest for a week. And so
Oh
we've
no.
canceled that, and we've decided no, we'll just after we're done, we'll get back in the RV and drive back home, and then winterize because it's going to start getting cold here, and you have to winterize. You don't want your pipes getting frozen or anything like that when it's not going to be used for a couple months, and then we will
Yeah.
hit the road again in late February, early March for our big epic. I forget what it is. 10, 12-week trip
Wow.
via
Wow.
Dice Tower West down to Utah and all that. So that's what's going on here. Phew.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow. That's the Dice Tower trip west. I think that, or the Dice Tower West trip. I
There
would.
you go.
I'm so envious of that. Not only I'm going to see you at Dice Tower West.
Oh,
Obviously,
you
we're
are
gonna
going to
play
be
some
there. Okay.
games. Yeah, I'm going to be there. But I just love the fact you guys are going to Zion National Park. That was one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. It's just
Oh, well,
gorgeous.
that is good to hear. Yeah, we're doing
Yeah,
Zion. We're
it's so
doing a
nice.
couple of other ones. We're spending a few days at the Grand Canyon as well. Coming back up through Salt Lake, I think. Actually, no, we haven't really spent much time thinking about how we want to drive back. We've driven through Salt Lake once, and we thought it was real pretty, all the views. So we might go back that way, but who knows? It's impossible to say. But yeah, that's the plan for the near future. But the plan for today, folks, is we're going to be doing the R&R Show, sponsored by a new sponsor, and I need to write that sponsor's name down because I keep forgetting it. It is,
okay.
what is the name of them? Crafting Kingdoms. They're going to write that down over here so I don't keep forgetting.
Cool.
Right, there we go. Crafting Kingdoms. So I can put that on screen when I need to.
Okay.
Or just so I won't forget it. And we're going to be doing our top 10 most thankful games. And we did not talk at all about what that means. I have no idea what you've come up with. You have no idea what I've come up with. But it seemed like an appropriate topic. Thankful, of course, to Crafting Kingdoms for giving us a bonus show by sponsoring. And although, man, look up there. We're close to unlocking. I think we're going to have another bonus show in December. And, I mean, we are just 20 followers away from unlocking a bonus. I mean, all of those might trip in December, in which case it'll be wall-to-wall, nothing but R&R shows for the entire month if we can trip those last little bits. That would be fun.
Yeah. I would love that. This is always a fun time when we can do it. I remember, we were doing it weekly for the longest time. And, now that we're doing monthly, which is great. I'm glad we're still doing it. But then now that we've got these bonus shows unlocked, I love it. It's more of a good thing.
Yeah,
it's always nice to talk to you. Now that, you've got your RV, I'm coming back home now. It's like, it's the life has changed, but it's all good. I do want to say hi to everyone in chat. Thank you. I've seen some well wishes and everything.
Hi, chatty chatters.
And also, someone, I think it was Ruckus who mentioned it. Oh no, you did. Okay, I got it. So it says Ruel has tempered down Nightbot. So yes, feel free to shout and do all the links and whatever you folks. Nightbot is a little overprotective. When we say, you know what, we have a very mature audience, they can handle themselves. So we have tempered down Nightbot quite a bit here.
Yep. Oh, I see me mentioning Crafting Kingdoms has caused some people to go and look at the GameFound campaign, and somebody said LED edged playmats. Yes, LED.
Ooh.
Here's the LED off. Come on, turn on. Did I turn on? No, I'm pushing the on button. Well, I better get this working before we go. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on.
Plugged in?
It must not be. Although, why wouldn't it be? I turned it off last night before I went to bed. All right. Well, I'm glad we checked this now. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So, folks, you're watching the pre-show. This is all the stuff you get to see the making of the sausage before we go live here, or before we record. Oh, whoa! Is that on? Really?
Yes. And it comes with I think it has a bunch of different colors that it can cycle through.
What the heck? That's awesome.
Yeah. This is the Tron color specifically. I think it's my favorite.
Oh, I'm ready to jump in a light cycle right now. That's awesome.
And then it's got a couple settings where it just like cycles like a slow bleed through the different colors, and they just kind of slowly go all the way around. But then there's like some Christmas tree flashy ones that it does.
Whoa! Oh, I totally want one of these.
It's really freaking neat. I gotta say.
That's cool.
All right, there we are, back on green. All right, and so, boy, now I'm inclined. All right, turn off. Just has one button. If you hold it for, there we go, turning off. Holding the button, turning back on. Oh, no, that's it. You tap the button. You hold the button to turn it off. You tap it to turn it on. That was my mistake. Tap it, turn it on. I was holding to turn on, and it was, who knows what it was doing.
That's cool. Do you have an overhead shot of that?
Yes, I do.
Nice.
Because of this. Because here's the problem. That camera, if that camera were, our eyes were, it'd be like you're sitting at the table like this. Right? Which is why you can't really see the effect, because if I show it, you can see it's there. So I have set up, there we go, the overhead.
Oh, yeah.
So here's an angle people normally don't get to see. So that'll be fun. All right.
That's cool.
There we go. So, all right, hold it to turn off. All right, there we go. And so just tap it to turn on, hold it to turn off. Got it. Okay. Phew. So when we actually
man.
get to the show, I'll be doing this, and I'll also be doing this. This, I do not know how heavy this bag is. They're also doing a bag called the Adventurer. It's a waterproof game bag, and I have loaded this thing down with like a convention's worth of games to demonstrate its storage potential, but it's going to be hard physically getting it up onto the table so that we can do the overhead view. Whee-oo.
Yeah, let's be careful. Let's not hurt ourselves during the stream.
Yeah.
That is really neat. So Wes Lloyd actually has a question. Maybe we should save
What's
it
that?
for
Yeah,
later.
sure.
It's about the playmat itself. Can it rainbow cycle? That's what they're asking. So.
I'm not sure what that means. I think it has 4 different animations. One where it just kind of like slowly pulses the colors around. One where it goes, oh, I'm green, and now I'm blue, and now I'm red. And then I think it's got like 2 of them that are just like switch, bop, 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 like twinkly light. If I recall correctly, I think those were the 4. Now you've got me curious. Let's go on ahead and try. I'll tap it to turn it back on. It comes with green. I'm going to call that dark blue, and then kind of a light purple, and then a red, and then Tron blue, and then yellow or gold, and then light purple, and then violety purple, and then an orange, and then, okay, so now this is the one where I think it's just going to pulse on and off, right? So it's going back down, and then it's switching to the next color. So it just like fades in and out between the colors. It's good to know this before we actually start doing the show. This is one of the doop, 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 just, the colors. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, going around really quick. I just go back to the overhead.
That's the one I like. I like the one that's going around.
Yep. And then let's see, what's the next one is, I think it's the same thing, but slower, I believe. And then there is this one, which is what? Oh, this is the one where it's just like slowly pulsing. So you can just like follow the purple around. And then it goes back to the standard green. There we go.
That's so neat.
Yep. All right. And now I got to turn it back off. So it's a surprise when we get to the show. That is my normal overhead camera that just looks down. I had to unplug it and put it up on a tripod way up there. Because I was like, how am I even going to show this thing? Especially because that camera is so low to the ground that, because the way it works, the LED is like stitched to the edge. So, if I'm down here like this, I literally can't see the LED over there. But if you're standing or if you're up high, you can still see it. That camera isn't high enough, which is why I had to set up that camera.
Right on.
Whew.
Wow, that's so neat.
Alrighty.
Cool.
Let's see.
Cool thing. Okay.
Any other questions for the audience, or should we start doing some stuff and things?
Let's see. AG Fox asks, what is the first game you want to play when they come home?
Good question.
First game. I don't know. That's a great question. When I get all my games, so I'd say 95% of my games are in storage right now. The one, it's funny. The one Michelle and I wanted to play recently, and it was in storage, was Dice Miner. It's just a Dice Miner.
Oh, you are addicted.
That's been our go-to this year. It's like, hey, we got 20, 30 minutes. Let's just play something quick. And sure enough, we didn't have it. So that's what I'm looking forward to. There's also, oh man, what was that one? I wanted to play Zapotec again. That one I wanted to solo it. And it's in storage, unfortunately, because I'm going to be doing a run through on my channel of Terracotta Army soon. So I just want to get back into the board and dice field, and I wanted to play that one. But I'm just gonna be practicing Terracotta Army over this weekend. But yeah, that's the first one. Thanks for the question, AG Fox. We have some other questions.
We should do Q&A now, really, because what's happening today, folks, is we're going to do some audience stuff, then we're going to do the R&R show, and then after the R&R show, we'll talk about the things, our 10 through 6 thankfuls that we didn't actually make the main show, so you folks get a little bit extra. And then, Ruel, do you have it set up? Go to your overhead.
Oh, yeah.
If you can.
Press this. Where's the button? Oh, my gosh, I've got the wrong button set up.
Gee, we will have to practice this. Okay, yes. There we go. Yes, Ruel is going to be live streaming a game of Helionox, which ends its campaign tomorrow, and he's going to be doing it on this stream because the publisher wanted it on the Rahdo stream instead of the Ruel stream. We're like, okay. So actually, hold on a second. Since we're here, let's test this. Right. If I... No, we'll test it afterwards because I've got a system where I am going to be the relay. So the stream will just continue, but we'll be streaming from Ruel's computer through my computer to Twitch. It's a very bold and brave experiment that won't blow up at all. It'll work out perfectly fine.
I love the confidence.
I'm
That's
100%
great.
confident.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see what happens, folks. But it's going to be fun. I mean, so I've never played the original, and after playing, this is a really good game. I was very surprised. I heard Deck Builder when, it was pitched to me, but then I didn't, realize how much else was going on. I really dig it. So, folks, stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Are you going to be solo, or what are you going to be demoing?
I am doing the solo, yes.
Okay.
So,
which mission?
I am on episode 2, but here's the thing. Episode 2, the publisher sent me new cards. He's actually upgraded a bunch of new cards. Yeah, so I've got the new stuff here that has been changed for the campaign. So I'm going to give that a run through. We're going to see the new things that have been changed. And,
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, it doesn't matter because you're going to be doing it solo. But when I did my run through, which was also of episode 2, but apparently with old, outdated crap cards compared to the new, cool, sexy cards you have, I guess. But because you've got my prototype, I boxed back up and sent it to you. Sorry, it was a bit of a mess.
It's all good.
Okay. When I gave my feedback to them, I said, hey, for the multiplayer game, I really wish that there was a way that you could have bigger turns, instead of all these small little baby step turns. And they said, yeah, we're going to do that. Did they talk to you at all about that, or does it not matter because you're just doing the solo? Because I enjoyed solo more than multiplayer, because in solo, hey, your turn is like a big turn where you do a bunch of stuff, whereas in multiplayer, I'll do a little thing, then you'll do a little thing, then I'll do a little thing, then you'll do a little thing.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because, I loved it solo because you're doing 3 actions rather than 2.
Exactly, yes.
And then just going through it, but then I thought about that. Like, in the rules it says you do one placement, then it goes to another player.
Exactly, yeah.
And I'm imagining in a multiplayer game, it could be a little long. Like, I'd rather just do all my stuff at once, and then go on. But so they didn't say anything to me. We just talked about the solo.
Okay, because that's what you're demoing. When I was talking to them, my argument to them was, imagine Pandemic, where on your turn you have 4 action points, but you can only spend 1. Everybody spends 1 action point. Then everybody spends 1 action point, and that would be horrible. And it wasn't horrible here, but it still would be much better if I've got 2 or 3 action points, let me just do them all and then have the next player take their turn. And and they said, that should totally work. So that's neither here nor there, folks. That's a little bit behind the scenes baseball you're getting to hear. So I was just curious. But I mean, since you were only playing solo, I'm sure they didn't update you on that.
Yep. Yeah, okay. Basically, they just sent me some updated cards, the cooler cards now that I have here, and some upgraded. I think it was updated event cards. But again, Insider Baseball. You'll see the game in soon enough, friends. And,
hey, Ruel, are those bone conduction headphones? I believe they are.
They are. Yeah, these are. Oh man, what are the name of these? These are, but they are bone conduction. They're the Aftershocks. I love them because. I don't know what it is with my ears, folks. When I had my earbud, the AirPods or whatever, they would always fall out or they just weren't comfortable. Yeah. And these, they're more secure. And the thing I like about this, now you don't get these for music or anything. I mean, I use them just for recording here on the R&R Show or podcast or whatever. Because
turn your head. Let's take a look at them.
Oh yeah, here they are.
Okay,
right
all right.
Okay.
Wow, they're practically in your ear.
Yeah, they're like right there on the, I don't know.
Whatever the little pokey thing is.
Yeah, the little ear pokey thing. That's the medical term, I believe. That is right there. I can hear everything fine, but here's the thing, what I love, I can hear outside as well. So this is really good if you're like jogging or whatever. You want to hear cars and stuff just in case, right? Yeah. You can still hear music. I mean, there's basically no bass. What they recommend you, if you want bass, you would actually get earplugs and put the earplugs in. I'm like, really? At that point, just get Okay. So that gets you the bass sound. But honestly, don't get these for music. Get these for comfort. And I do a lot of live streaming. I do a lot of podcasting, and I had the big headphones, the ones that you put on your head, and they're heavy. And after like 45 minutes, I'm just done with them. But these, I can do 3 hours no sweat, and it's like it's like wearing nothing. And Michelle ended up getting a pair for herself when she's working from home. She puts those on. We're big fans of them, and I highly recommend them if you're doing a lot of work online and in a lot of Zoom meetings or whatever.
Right. So now, where's your Amazon affiliate link?
That's the next step.
In case anybody's curious, here's what I'm doing. As you can see, I just got one old Sennheiser earbud. These were nice because they're not the type that is supposed to worm down into your ear. Those make me very uncomfortable and they always fall out. These old Sennheisers, which this is old. But the other ear doesn't even work. But this one still does, fortunately, and it's big enough that it can just sit loose in my ear.
Nice.
And I have big cavernous ears, but this is quite nice. And so I've got the open ear, no one sees it, and then I've got this one over in the other ear. There's some more behind the scenes stuff, folks.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see.
What else do we got here? Got a couple of questions about games. I guess we could save that for later.
Well, yeah, because I think after we're done with the show, we're probably not going to be able to do Q&A because you got to get ready to, continue the live stream at 2:00, folks. Stick around because Ruel is going to be demoing the new upgraded assets for Helionox Chronicles on this very stream. You won't have to go anywhere.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, hi, Daniel. Daniel, thank you for the comment. He's talking about my glorious looking beard these days. Actually, I'm going to get it trimmed down real soon here. Anytime I travel or go on set or whatever, I like to treat myself to a spa day and get the works. I get the straight razor shave on the head, which is the best thing in the world, and then I get the beard trimmed as well. So I'll be doing that. Right. Oh, by the way, folks, I'm going to be at PAX Unplugged. If any of you are going to be there. In 2 weeks, I will be there. I've got a couple of events that I'm lining up right now, and I would love to play games with y'all. I'll be working part of the event, but I have a lot more free time than Gen Con, so please, if you see me, don't, just say hi, and then maybe we can play a game or hang out or whatever. So I will be there, PAX Unplugged in Philly, looking forward to it.
I was just going to ask, so it's in Philadelphia. For some reason, I thought it was Boston, but Philadelphia, in like the second week of December or something like that?
Yep, December 2nd through 4th.
Oh,
so the
first weekend, it sounds like. That's cool.
Yeah.
I would like
I'm really
to go to that
excited.
someday.
Yeah, I hear it's like a lot of people enjoy that one the best. It's more of a laid back attitude and it's primarily focused on games. They do have a vendor hall, but it's not as overwhelming as say like Gen Con or Origins or whatever. But it's supposed to be a really cool vibe, and I can't wait because I'm a foodie and I know there's there's the big food court or food hall right next door. I can't wait. I'm so excited. It's been years since I've been back to Philadelphia.
I've never been.
Oh, you've never been?
I think last year or maybe the year before. No, was it last year? Or a couple of years ago, they said, hey, would you like to come and be a special guest to the show? And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Boy, I've always wanted to go. And they said, okay, that's fine. You just need to do the commencement address for the entire event.
Like, commencement address? Oh,
no, I do not want to do that. And they said, last year we had Will Wheaton do it. And they're like, no, I'm not following Will Wheaton. No.
Oh, you would have been great on. Oh, man.
I am sure.
You would have been great. Oh, I would love to see that. Oh. I hope they ask you again. I definitely want to be there if you ever do the commencement address, man.
Hey, thank you, Olympian, for resubscribing. Also, thank you, Wild Stallion, for subscribing. Folks, we're getting close to unlocking some more bonus stuff for December. Let's see. We have a few more questions. Let's just get Q&A up front instead.
Yeah,
hey,
let's
Ruel,
do it.
What's your favorite piece of humor in a board game?
Oh, piece of humor. Wow. That's a good one. That is a tough question. Okay, top of my head, this one always cracks me up. Jaipur.
The camels?
The two-player game.
Yeah.
There is a little shout out to, I think Antoine Bauza did, not Tokaido, Takanoko. Is that the one with the panda?
Yes, Tokaido is the peaceful walking, and Takanoko is the garden panda bamboo eater. Yes.
Yes. So there's a little Easter egg in there where on one of the camels there is a panda hide, and you will see it. It's hilarious.
Oh my god! I had no idea.
It's great. Yeah, one of those cards has a little panda hide, and I guess whoever's the designer of that was friends with Antoine Bauza or something, and they sort of shouted him out through the little panda. So that's the first one off the top of my head. What about you?
The main one I can think of, it's not laugh out loud, but we really enjoy the humor of The Networks by Gil Hova. All the references to TV shows and actors and ads, and of course you put them all together to make your perfect show and all that. Again, not laugh out loud funny, but really clever. And, as a TV junkie, very enjoyable. That's probably the one that just pops into my head right off the bat.
I forgot about that one. That was good. Yeah.
If you celebrate Thanksgiving, what food are you most excited to eat? Says Daniel Kime.
Oh, hi, Daniel. I do celebrate Thanksgiving. I mean, I'm the turkey. Okay, here, I'll change it up. So I do love turkey, and I love all the sides. Two of the things I enjoy the best. My sister-in-law, she makes the best cream corn. I've never liked cream corn until she started, bringing it to Thanksgiving. I was like, oh, okay, this is great. But you know what I really enjoy is right after Thanksgiving, I'm the one that always ends up with a turkey carcass. I always request it, and I make a stock out of
Oh,
that.
sure,
And
sure.
then the
Yeah.
stock, yeah, we use that for soups and everything throughout the year. So that's my favorite part. What about you, Richard?
Desserts, of course.
Oh yeah,
Um,
of course.
we are, there. Apparently, Cold Stone Creamery is going to be open on Thursday, and we've
Ooh,
pre-ordered a pumpkin bread ice cream pie. So we're taking that. That's what I mean. Anything else is
wow.
just crap I got to get through so I can get my slice of pumpkin bread ice cream pie from Cold
Wow.
Stone Creamery.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
and
sounds
whatever other
delicious.
desserts will be there. I've got the world's biggest sweet tooth.
Now, so do you do pies, cakes? Is there like a big buffet of desserts at your
I
Thanksgiving
don't know.
celebration?
This is, I believe, the first year that it's happening where it's happening.
Oh, okay.
Actually, for the last few years, we it was just me, Jen, and my mom staying and doing. Of course, my mom passed earlier this year, so we're getting back into the swing of going down. Or actually, Jen always went to her folks, but I stayed with my mom, and so this will be the first time I haven't seen like the extended Jen's family for a long time. So we'll see. I don't even know who all is showing up. I'm kind of nervous
Oh,
about it,
okay.
but there will be
Okay.
pie, so that'll be good.
Nice. Yes. All right. Cool. Let's see what other questions we got. We can go through here. Um, oh, here's
People, you got
one.
to start your questions with a question mark. All right.
Yes.
Best two-player board
Socko,
game.
best two-player board game. So
Okay.
here's the
Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, here's the thing. I've been doing these top 10 lists on my channel for Twitch and YouTube. I'm doing 12 different gift guides,
Okay.
one a week, folks, until the to get you through the holidays. I did my top two-player games, and mine I picked
Well, don't
Patchwork.
spoil it. Make people go watch the video.
Oh well, okay. Spoiler alert! I just well for the other nine, you got to go to my video. But yeah, that's my favorite right there. Patrick, Michelle, and I love that one. It's got that really neat spatial puzzle where you're putting together the tiles that look like tetra shapes and more.
I missed it. Which one was it?
Polyominoes. Patchwork
Patchwork.
by
Oh,
Uwe
really? I mean,
Rosenberg.
Patchwork is
Yeah,
nice, but really, the number
yeah,
one. Wow.
I love it. Yeah,
You love it,
but
obviously.
I know you'd probably prefer my number 2 and 3, but for that you'll have to watch the video. There
Yes.
you go.
Remember, folks,
Oh,
we're here on Twitch today. Ruel does live streams at Twitch, but you can also catch everything Ruel ever done at youtube.com/Ruel Gaviola, including Ruel's top 10 two-player games and your other
yeah,
holiday themes. So
yeah.
put that on your list of things to check out. This guy's got you covered.
Thank you.
I did an updated top 10 as well. I think maybe it was in 21. I don't think I did one this year. I did one earlier with Stella and Ella from Down Under. We did a 3-person,
Oh,
which is ironic. 3 people doing top 10 two-players. And
yeah.
for the life of me, I cannot remember what it was. I want to say, I honestly don't remember. Folks, do a
Oh.
search for Rahdo Top 2, and you'll get the answer. I'm not going to give
Oh
it
my
away.
God.
You got to go watch so I can get
Yeah,
that,
get those views.
1/10 of 1 penny in ad revenue. Come on.
Nice. Yeah, so my list, I focused specifically on games that were specifically 2 players. So one that I didn't include that I absolutely love at 2 players is Castles of Burgundy. I think that's my
Oh,
favorite
sure.
at
Yeah.
two, but it can technically play up to 4, so
Yeah.
I didn't leave put that on the list. These were just built for 2, stuff like Patchwork and Star Realms, that type of stuff. But anyways, great question. Cool,
Yeah.
thank you.
Ruel Ruckus wants to know, do you have any board game snack suggestions that keeps your hand clean other than tiny pretzels?
Oh, well, this is easy. I love all snacks, Cheetos, Doritos, anything, even anything with all that Cheeto does.
Cheetos are
'Cause-
not a keep your cards clean
But no,
option.
here's the thing. Chopsticks. All you have to do is use chopsticks.
You've mentioned
friend.
this before, yes.
Yes, that is the magical item. Chopsticks, you can eat anything you want. I mean, yeah, you can still, like, from your mouth it may spill or whatever, but have a napkin on hand. Chopsticks let you eat anything you want.
Wow, that is
yeah,
clever.
yeah, that is my number one hack in all of board gaming. But I prefer, I'm like you, when I play games, I do get a sweet tooth, so I like cookies, like little cookies and stuff. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Chopsticks, you can eat anything you want. What about you? Any
I can't
suggestions
stop that.
for
I mean,
snacks?
then the world is your oyster. Not
Yeah,
oysters.
right?
I do not like oysters. But
Oh, you don't like oysters? Oh, oysters are
yeah.
delicious.
I mean, honestly though, we don't really tend to snack while we're playing games. That's pretty rare.
Oh, really?
Let's see. I'm trying to think of. Sometimes, if Jen has just baked a new fresh loaf of bread and it's stinking up the house, she will have no choice but to go slice some off and put some butter and maybe a little bit of garlic on. But that's
my
just only
goodness.
because we're being overwhelmed olfactorily. But yeah, as a general rule, we don't tend to snack. We don't tend to snack during the day really at all. Now that I think about it,
Really?
we used to.
Wow. Interesting.
But I don't know. We just kind of stopped doing it a few years ago. We've got a big jar on the counter of pistachios. It used to be, if I get an urge for pistachios, I'm just going to open that jar, stand by the garbage can, and eat 20. Just shelling them as I go. But I mean, I just opened it up the other day, and they were all old and stale because we just kind of let it go. Yes.
Wow.
I still ate them. They're still delicious, but stale pistachios just aren't quite right.
Yeah, I do love pistachios. I hear you. You open one, I mean, you're going to crack open at least 20.
Yep.
No sweat.
Yep.
But, wow, that's just, so when you're filming videos and stuff, you don't snack at all?
No. I always got a bottle of water, but
Yeah. Wow.
I
feel
used
like
to snack a lot, but I don't know. Since we went back to the States, we just kind of fallen out of the habit, which is probably for the best, really.
Yeah.
And we only really
true.
eat twice a day. We just eat lunch and we eat dinner, and pretty much nothing else.
Were you more of a eater in your younger days before you went to Europe? Because I know Europeans do smaller meals than Americans, right?
Oh yeah, multiples and all that. I guess. Trying to think of what I would used to snack on. What I used to do were like various lunch meats, like sliced pepperoni. I would just go to the fridge, get some, a little slice of cheese and some sliced pepperoni, and like a little cheese and sliced pepperoni sandwich. I used to do that a lot. Oh, yeah. I think I've mentioned this before. Back when there used to be peanut butter and jelly in the house, at least 3 or 4 times a day, I would just get a spoonful of peanut butter, go to the fridge, use the same spoon to get the jelly, and which was not good for me at all. And honestly, if there was peanut butter and jelly in this house, just talking about now, I would not be able to stop myself.
Wow.
Jen occasionally there's a few lines of dark chocolate that she gets that I don't find absolutely disgusting. Most of the dark chocolate I just can't stomach at all, but there's a few gets. I mean, and she gets them in part because she knows I won't obsessively eat them because they taste like slightly sweetened dirt. But there's a couple that she gets sometimes, like, oh, okay, I guess I can have a piece or two of that, and those are nice because they're a little jolt of sweet, but I don't like them enough to go back for wanting more and more and more. I'm a very obsessive and compulsive eater, so it's just as well. I mean, once I start, I can't stop. So it's best just not to start.
Yeah, that's probably best right there.
All right. Well, the queue is empty.
Okay.
So let me bring up the list of things we need to do if anybody's bought anything with their channel points. And we have a game sommelier from Wesseloid. Alrighty, let's do this. Wesseloid says, my Secret Santa recipient has no wish list and owns 5. Oh, this is an important one. This is Secret Santa on the line. Okay. Boy. So, my Secret Santa recipient lists 5 games. They own Too Many Bones, Gloomhaven, Mage Knight, Twilight Imperium, and Eclipse. What does Wesseloid get them for $40 or $50?
Oh,
that's the twist. I was just gonna say, just get Oathsworn then. But of course, this is a Secret Santa thing. So gotta stay below 50, but this is clearly a person who wants big, huge boxes full of gameness. That's an interesting one. Oh, I like that one a lot. Let's see.
As you're reading those off, I was already thinking in my mind, Burn Cycle, but that's not $40 or $50. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of really good, easy suggestions, but none of them are any good. Let me see.
Wow.
I would love to say Legends of Andor, but because I think it's great. But a lot of people who like the kind of games that Wes is talking about do not like, because Legends of Andor is so much more puzzly than these style of games normally are. I mean, I don't tend to go for these kind of games.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Man. Well,
And obviously an adventure game that has that big box over the top feel, but
at that price
doesn't
point,
break
I
the
almost
bank.
feel, yeah, I almost feel like at that price point, it's really tough. Um, Gosh, I
Let's
mean,
see.
something like epic, like I mean, Game of Thrones, but I don't think you can get that for 40 or $50. I don't even know if that's still in print.
Yeah. Audience,
Uh,
definitely help out. This is a tough one.
yeah,
I really like this
War
one.
War of the Ring. That is a
That's
epic game, but
incredibly expensive, right?
that's incredibly expensive as well. I would have said something like Scythe, but you probably like
That's pretty
60 or
expensive too.
70. Yeah, my gosh, it is so tough to get that price point.
Wow, I love this one. Our
Yeah.
first stumper. I mean, does the audience have anything? Do they, they have any good suggestions?
Let's check chat. Let's
Let's
see.
see. Is everything
Oh,
okay?
Aeon's End. Okay, Aeon's
Co-op,
End.
co-op. Okay, 2 of them are co-op, 3 of them are not. So it's not
Yeah,
like co-op versus not. But you said Aeon's End. I mean, I don't know. I
yeah,
mean, Aeon's End is great. It's one of my favorites, but is somebody going to be happy? I feel like they're going to want. I mean, Aeon's End
more.
seems to abstract out everything that they love. They
Exactly.
got to have a lot of miniatures moving around on the table, or adventure,
Yeah,
or things to fight, or I mean, Twilight and Eclipse and Twilight Imperium, tons of
yeah.
miniatures, big epic war game. Too Many Bones, Gloomhaven, lots of miniature cooperative adventure stuff. Mage Knight,
Hmm.
kind of, going between the two. Jeez, that
Yeah.
is tough.
People were mentioning like Jaws of the Lion, which is definitely in the price range,
Of
right?
course, of
Right? And
course.
it's basically pre-Gloomhaven. So I think that's the perfect answer.
That is a no brainer. My only worry
Yeah.
is you gotta think he's already got it, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Is that's
Um,
I mean, you want to go for something that's a surprise,
yeah,
something like, oh, I've never even heard of this. Oh, wow, you've really surprised me
yeah.
there. Wow, kind of a thing.
Someone had mentioned Twilight Inscription, the roll and write version. I Man, so as a Twilight Imperium fan, do I think would I be happy? I would be happy with Twilight
Yeah,
Inscription.
I think
I
that's a
really
fair
like it.
one to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Although I mean,
but again,
but again, this guy's mo is he wants miniatures. He does not
yeah,
want stuff abstracted away.
yeah, and that's Twilight Inscription totally gets rid of all that stuff.
What is the
So
comic book / movie about a teenage boy and a preteen girl? Kick-Ass. Is it Kick-Ass? Yeah,
yeah,
Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass from Cool Mini or Not's games is totally flies under the radar. I believe, if I recall correctly, yeah, it's a crazy, over-the-top miniatures heavy game.
mhm,
Superheroes, very, very good. A criminally overlooked game. So I would, and I
okay,
bet you anything, you could probably get it super cheap. I guarantee you he's probably never even heard of it, but it comes with a ton of plastic, and it's kind of a pandemic-y kind of, oh, the city's being overrun, more miniatures are popping up all over the place kind of a thing. Can you go shut them down? Playing the characters from Kick-Ass with some really nice Euro stuff. I mean, it's really good.
hmm,
So I
yeah.
would maybe suggest
That's
that one.
okay. Yeah, I haven't played that one, and yeah, Westloyd does mention Twilight Inscription is a bit spendy. It is. It's
Oh,
usually
is
over
it?
$50. So
Okay,
yeah,
all
it's
right. Well
it's
then,
not cheap. So
ixnay that. I mean,
yep.
I mean, if you can find Kick-Ass, I mean, I'm looking. There's plenty of used copies for like $30 on Board Game
Okay.
Geek. I mean, and I gotta assume there'd be places you could buy it new still.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Yeah, the price point is the thing that's tricky, folks. Getting something around 40 or 50, not an easy
The
thing.
fact that he digs, what do you call it? A Mage Knight. I mean, these are all relatively heavy, crunchy games.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, do we have to put that in as well? As I was going to say, some of the Pandemic spin-offs, like Pandemic Glory to Rome, or Fall of Rome.
Oh yeah.
I
Right.
mean, those use miniatures instead of cubes, if I recall.
Yeah.
Actually, some of them use, oh no, like the Cthulhu one uses miniatures.
Right.
The only problem with that one, Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu, it's so lightweight. And the same thing for the
Oh,
new
it is.
Pandemic Star Wars as well. A lot of miniatures,
Yeah.
cooperative play, very thematic, but not crunchy. And it seems like all 5
Right.
of his are very crunchy games.
Yeah. What's well, that's not really miniatures. I was gonna say you want crunch. Arc Nova would be a great choice, but that's not miniatures, and
Yeah, and it's
probably
way over the
$50.
price too.
Yeah. Um, this is another one that I love, but it's definitely not $50. But Star Wars Rebellion. That is an epic game. Tons of miniatures, but like 75,
That is a
$80,
great
I think.
one, but you're right. I mean, I don't think you can get that
Yeah.
one down, can you?
Nope. Oh man,
Huh.
this is a good one.
Well,
Well, if they don't have Jaws of Lion, I think that's the most logical.
yeah, but you
choice.
can't know. You can't guess. You
Yeah.
and let's see. What else? Miniature heavy, crunchy games at a low cost. I mean, what about Blood Rage and and those other Eric Lang games, right?
Yeah, I love them.
Are those
I love
low
them all.
end or Kemet? Those
No,
kind of things, Cyclades?
those are like $80 or
Yeah,
so.
because there's a
They're
lot
not
of
cheap.
plastic. You're not
Yep.
going to find a lot of plastic for cheap unless
Yep.
you go with Kick-Ass.
Hmm. Wow.
Has anybody else come up with anything?
No, I mean we're just going over the. Okay, yeah. West Lloyd confers Blood Raised $72. People are talking about Horizons of Spirit Island. That's like the
new one.
The new one. That's a little less complicated.
Yeah.
I have no idea about that one, but it's under $40.
Then that's
So,
a perfect. That is a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spirit Island's fantastic. And it is
That's like
crunchy.
made for him. That's an excellent
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Audience,
So there you go,
you
friend.
saved our butt. I
You
think
did.
he didn't mention it, and yeah, that's a good idea because they didn't really simplify it very much. And yeah, it's got a lot of plastic in that box. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, I'm going to say
choice.
Kick-Ass if you really want to surprise him, or if you want to go for a safer one, Spirit Island, the new one that's available exclusively through
Horizons of
Target or
Spirit
whatever.
Island, yeah. Yeah, and that one is Horizons of Spirit Island is
Right.
definitely going to be easier to find because Kick-Ass is it out of print and it's just
Let's go.
it's on the
Board
secondary
Game.
market for
I
now.
don't know if people know about this. Board Game Atlas, except it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
called anymore. Yeah, it is still called Board Game Atlas. Kick-Ass is kind of it's a site where, hey, I type in this game and it lists everybody who has it in stock and does price comparisons. Let me bring that up on the screeny screen. So here we are, Kick-Ass, the board game, according to Board Game Atlas. Power to the Meeple has it for 32. Boardlandia has it for 40.
Okay.
Noble Knights in your neck of the woods, I believe that's a LA outlet, it has it for 44. Card House has it for 50. So yeah, there are a few that have it. Miniature Market is out of stock. Right.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think the audience wins this one. Yeah, that Spirit Island, that is
sure.
an excellent choice. Excellent call.
Yeah. Thank you, audience. Well done.
Phew, let me mark that as done. That was tough. But I think those are some interesting choices. I think at the if you go with the Kick-Ass, if you can get it to him, he'll be surprised. It'll be win or lose, it will be memorable.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Let's see.
thank
What
you,
else
audience.
we
That
got
was
here?
well done. What else? What other?
Okay.
things
We've got a Ruel Ranks in the top 3. You want to rank something?
Oh. Yeah, I'm always down to rank something.
Alrighty, let's do that thing. Let's bring back up the browser and go to the Gaviola Game Library. GaviolaLibrary.rahdo.com. Let's scroll on down past all the stuff you've ranked. Look at all those good rankings, but there's much more work to be done. Jeez
Yes.
Louise. Alrighty. Right. So, do you like any of these?
Let's see.
Oh, and I got to start working on, all right, new poll. What to Ruel rank?
Okay.
All right, you like any of those? We can go on to the next page.
No, let's go next page.
All right. All right, let's just go to the new stuff. Cult of the New. Here's all your newest, latest stuff you've added to your collection.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did the.
Super Skill Pinball Holiday Special?
Yeah. Let's do that one because it was here on the channel. Okay. Cryptid Cafe. I just did one for my channel. Let's do that.
All right.
Cafe.
Cryptid Cafe. All right.
Smitten. That's another
Smitten.
one.
All right.
Turing Machine.
All right. Very popular choice.
Yeah. And Evergreen. It's right there.
Right. Which your video for that will be going up this week on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, cool. Oh,
So
awesome. Cool.
If people just don't want to bother watching that run through, you can find out if it gets the votes. All right. I got to set it back to 2 minutes because we were doing a fast vote. And let's see. Work voted. Yay! It came back. I don't know why it wasn't
nice.
there that one day, but I didn't fix anything. And it came back.
It
Folks,
just
you have
works.
2 minutes to vote. You
Funny.
can vote. You can cheat and use channel points. You can cheat and use actual bits if you want to. And Ruel will rank one of those beasties after you folks have made your voices heard. A little mini review. And then I'll tell him if he's right or not.
Okay.
And
Turing
then-
Machine, off to an early lead.
Oh, Turing Machine, yeah. That game is like a freaking magic trick.
It really is.
I look at it and I don't understand. How does this work? How does this function?
I don't either. And like, I'm not that I've really sat there and thought about it, but I love the fact that it works so well. And folks, vote and we'll talk about it.
Hey, you should adjust your camera, but otherwise you will be off center for the entirety of the actual show when we start recording.
Let me fix that.
And if you just want to physically move your camera or fix it in OBS.
Hopefully
OBS
fix it in OBS. How's that work?
That's good.
Okay, cool.
All righty. Oh, let's see. I got to put my single vote in because I have the least power here. Oh, shoot. Oh, crap. I typed Everdell. It's not Everdell. It's Evergreen. The vote is Evergreen, folks. Evergreen,
folks.
My mistake. Oh, shoot.
Whoops.
I'm embarrassed.
Oh, wow.
Let's see here.
Got 30 seconds, friends.
All righty. I've cast my vote. I will reveal what my vote was afterwards.
Cool.
I cast a vote for basically the only one on the list I know nothing about, and I'm genuinely curious to hear about it.
Oh, which one?
Can you guess which one that would be?
Oh, yeah, I think I could guess. Yeah.
All right, you can reveal after because we do not want to sway anybody. We don't want to give any unfair. 4, 3, 2, 1, and the winner is Super Skill Pinball.
Oh, wow.
Wait.
I thought for sure.
No, Turing Machine pulled it out.
Okay, cool.
A last-second eBay-style mega bid.
Wow.
Snuck in and got it. All right, I thought for sure it was going to be some pinball holiday special.
Yeah.
What was the one you thought I didn't know about anything?
Cryptid Cafe.
No, I know about that one.
Oh, you do?
I don't know anything about Smitten.
Oh, Smitten. Okay. You know what game it is, though, right?
No.
Oh, it's the new Stonemaier game. Stonemaier Games.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted it even more. Oh, well.
Yeah, the micro game. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that would have been the one, but that is not the one. Hey, Ruel, tell us all about... Actually, hold on a second. Let's just go to Rahdo, Turing, and we'll just put your video up on screen.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
So I'm just going to... we're not going to bury the lead. This is one of my favorite games of the year so far. It's top 10 material, maybe even higher than top 10. You are trying to break a code, and you're using a Turing machine. Alan Turing, if you don't know the history, look it up on Wikipedia. Very actually a tragic story about what happened to him. He was one of the, a very influential figure in computer science, but unfortunately the day and age he lived in was not friendly. In fact, it was quite hostile to people like him. Yeah. And basically, this is his machine. It's a punch card machine. That's how you were able to come up with calculations back in the day. And what you're trying to do is crack a 3-digit code. And what you do is you can see me doing there. I'm going to take the code that I believe it is, like in this case, 213, and I'm going to ask the verifiers a question. And it is a true or false question. And it'll let me know either a check mark or an X if the thing is true or false. And there's one of them is the number, an even or odd number. And in this case, it is the even number, the triangle. So I know that number 2, or the first number, is either going to be a 2, 4, or a 4. The numbers are 1 through 5, and through a process of deduction elimination, you'll eventually, get the code. You try to do it as quick as possible. In the multiplayer game, whoever's first to crack it wins. In the solo game, you're playing against an app, which is really clever, and you see how fast you can do it.
Or how fast you should have been able to do it.
You should have been able to do it, yeah. And
yeah,
if you watch
folks,
this video,
if you watch this video, definitely take notes, because what you want to do is, can you beat it in under half the time it took Ruel to win?
Yeah,
I believe Paulo was able to do that.
Yeah, Paulo, it killed me. And Paulo's got his subtitles, and he's supposed to be talking about like what mistakes you make or any errors. No, he's just like solving it by himself. I was like, this shouldn't be in the subtitles. Come on. But it's funny because as you're doing it, I mean, I'm terrible at these games, and yet this is one of my favorite games of the year because I think it's so clever and so well done, and it's so approachable. It took me a little bit to get my head wrapped around, but once I did, I've played this game at least a dozen times solo. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorites of the year, and that is Turing Machine, friends.
And how does it work? So you quote ask this card the question because you're trying to narrow down, and then you take the card and you slip it into something, right?
Yeah, you have each of the numbers has a bunch of different holes,
right?
And you put your numbers together, and the holes all line up until there's only like one hole in that card. So you can see the 213 has one in the middle there. Then you take the card, the verifier card.
Yeah, here it is.
Which I'm doing right there. Flipping it over, you line up the little symbols, and then it's going to give you a check mark
and a yes or a no. And just somehow it works. No matter what question you ask, any randomly generated puzzle, of the millions of puzzles that can be created, it just works. Like it's sentient being that you're holding in your hand.
Yeah. I love it. And as you can see there, I'm taking note. They give you, a pad of paper. You take your notes and you figure out when you solve the puzzle and what round and how many guesses it took. It really is like magic to me, and I love it. So these verifier cards, there's a bunch of them in the box. I only use you can use up to 6. I think in the standard game it's 4 that you use, and then you can do 5 and 6. And there's so many puzzles. There's 20 puzzles in the box, but then there's a ton online. You just go to the QR code, scan that, it takes you to the app or the website. It is one of the most clever games I've ever played, and it is one of the best games I've played this year, Turing Machine.
Now, here's my question to you. You obviously played it a lot, probably mostly solo. Have you played it with Michelle? Have you played it with other people? What is... I mean, because this does not feel like a multiplayer game. This feels like the multiplayer is just kind of... Okay, we got to make sure multiple people can play this. And it's like, it's a race. And if one player is better than the other people, if you play this against Paulo, you will lose 100% of the time. And won't you just get frustrated?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because, yes, I have played a multiplayer. I played it 2 and 3. Michelle has not played yet, but I have played it 2 and 3. Here's the thing. If you are playing against someone of a way better skill level than you...
Just who knows the tricks of deduction and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. There is a way to offset that, and I think it's you give them. Oh, now I forget what it is. It is in the rule book. You're either going to give them one less guess, or they have to guess it in one extra step than you do, or something like that.
So it's like if the really smart person, I did it in 3 turns. Okay, well for handicapping, everybody else is a tie, but they get one more turn, kind of a thing, something like that.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So it's a handicap system for players of different skill levels. That's how they do that. It worked well at 2 and 3. It is multiplayer solitaire, but it is a race, so you are just trying to get it as fast as you can against the other players.
Yeah.
It's fantastic though. I'm so blown away by this game. It actually reminded me a little bit of the Search for Planet X because that's another deduction game, more thematic, but that's a game that I never thought I would like in a million years. But both of these games do deduction in a way that I can sort of grok and I just understand it better. And I think it's just brilliant the way they came up with this system. Highly recommend.
All right. Well, that is very, very cool. What do you rank it at? Because that's what we're here to do. Ruel, rank it.
Oh, that's right.
Give it a number.
Oh, man, this is definitely an 8. I'm thinking an 8.23. We're going to go 8.23, friends.
8.23. Yeah, I'd buy that for $1. This is something, it was interesting. I mean, it was a hot game. I figured we should definitely cover it for the channel. And I'm like, I just don't. I'm so over deduction stuff. But then I watched your video and like, oh my God, I wish I had that in my hand. I just want to see it work. I just want to. Wow, no matter what question I ask it always knows the answer.
Yeah, I think you would really enjoy it. Yeah. And the thing is, what's great about it, it's only like a 20-minute game.
Yeah.
And in those 20 minutes, you were really burning your brain. It's like, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to deduce it. And then, it's all over. Great. And that's why I played it so many times because it plays so quickly and it's such a smart game.
Cool.
All right, great. So we've done a Ruel Ranks. We got time for a top 3 or...
what are we at? We probably should get ready to go.
Wow. Yeah, let's do this.
I think... One more thing, though. I was just looking at the chat, and here's the deal. Back to that game sommelier question. I don't know why King Engine 1 was just arbitrarily talking about Endless Winter. Endless Winter you can get for under $50.
Oh, okay.
It's got really nice miniatures, really deep gameplay, and it's super duper hot. I think that would be something that a Secret Santa, that would make somebody's Christmas for sure.
I
if
did not
Endless
know it was
Winter
that
showed up.
cheap.
I mean, because remember when we did the last R&R, we were doing Cyber Monday stuff on Fun Again, and it was like at $44, if I recall correctly, for just the base box.
Okay.
So, and it was Wes Lloyd himself who mentioned it. So clearly, we are abject failures. He wasted his time coming to us, but that is a good suggestion, Wes Lloyd. You answered your own question.
I was gonna say we've come full circle.
Yeah, there you go. But still, folks, Kick-Ass is really, really good. It is criminally underlooked. I mean, it was and the designers have gone on to do other things that are like, oh, that's really cool. And what else? They did this other game based on Kick-Ass, didn't even know. So I definitely recommend, watch my run through. You can see what it's about. I think it will surprise you. But anyway, okay, so we got to get ready to go for the show, which means we need a secret word. We need to have these little pixel warriors down there battle to the death. So let's do that. Exclamation point battle royale. There we go.
And folks, help us with the secret word. If you've got a good one, drop it in chat, and we will use it.
Yep. Oh, and of course we have to give away the $50 gift certificate from the last episode as well.
Oh yeah.
So we have to do that
so
too.
after the battle,
very important. But but now, fight! Let them fight. And what's going on here? I'm throwing down with Roman Dog, and then with Feldfan, the ultimate Feldfan face-off. But we, like a good Felds, we just let it pass. Only a little bit of conflict, and then we go our separate ways. I think that's very appropriate. Okay, I'm chasing after Olympian, teaming up with Malger to take out Olympian, and then King Engine 1. How dare you make me feel stupid about that Endless Winter thing. King Engine 1 is down and out. Tibby Blue, Flying Dutch Rocker, I think is going to end my reign of terror. Yep. Okay, we're down to Heroic Logic and Flying Dutch Rocker. They are both. Okay, Hero Logic has twice the health. Flying Dutch Rocker, if you do not get a health back, I think it's all over. And it is.
Well done. Bum-ba-da-dun. So fun.
Alrighty. Okay, cool.
And y'all are okay. And y'all are regenerated to live another day and battle another day. Yep. So let's give away a gift card.
Yes, let's do that. Let me bring back up the browser and the wheel of names. Where is it? There it is. Boop. The R&R Show Wheel of Names brought to you by Dove. This is how this website makes their money. So everybody. I mean, did you ever use Dove? Jen used to. I think Dove was like a fairly mainstay of my childhood. Now that I think about it,
was it?
That was always in the old shower. But anyway, let's spin.
We were all about Dial. Remember Dial? We had.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, actually.
Yeah. And
Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Just Craig. Congratulations, Craig. That is $50 coming your way in the form of a Fun Again Games gift certificate. And actually, while we were looking, I just looked. Fun Again Games Endless Winter sold out. So, too bad, so sad about that. Alrighty, but still lots of other good stuff. And of course, we'll be doing a giveaway in this week's. It's for this stuff. It's for Crafting Kingdoms. You can either get a mat with the LED, or you can get one of these super bags, which I'm about to show off in the show. So, people need to listen for the secret word. Has anybody come up with a good suggestion for the secret word?
I haven't seen anything yet. I mean, home was one, but I feel like that's. I don't know if I would. Well,
home is way too broad. Home is a word you'll just accidentally say, I think.
Yeah, what's something a little more unique, I guess, or what else? Y'all got any other words here? No, I don't see anything else in here.
All right.
Okay, chopsticks. Oh, chopsticks might work.
Chopsticks. I do like that. Can you work chopsticks in?
List. Chopsticks. I can. Where's my list?
Chopsticks.
Chopsticks. That's actually sort of hard.
That's a hard one. Yes.
Yeah.
God, can I put it in there? Oh man, that's such a stretch.
Yeah, no, I can.
I like the word, but I don't want to be the one to use it. Horizon, says Victory. Why? What happened with Horizon?
Horizon?
Just in general? Open horizons? Did we say something about horizons? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Ruckus points out I did mention Tron with the...
Tron, okay. I could probably work Tron in.
Oh, Horizons of Spirit Island. Right. So yeah, that's a
Ah,
yep, that was a good one.
okay.
You can work in
Uh,
Tron.
I think I can work in Tron. Wait, hold on a second. Let me take a look at
Oh, by
what.
the way, last week you failed and had to throw in
Yeah.
at the last second. What was it?
Oh man, what was that? Was it snake or something like that? Was that the word?
All I gotta do
Now
is
I gotta
look
look it up.
I've
Let me
got 50 bajillion emails with people entering that contest.
let me find our
Skunk. It was
old
skunk.
skunk.
And
That's
so
what it was.
you forgot what you were going to say, so you just came up with this. Oh, you know that skunk faction in Terra Mystica.
Terra Mystica. Oh my gosh, because I was gonna use it. What was the other? Oh man, let me get my list from last week because I had it so perfectly set. It was in. Let me see real quick. Games and buy right now. It was gonna be in. Was it Rosetta, the Lost Language? I was gonna say, hey, you can create your own. You're trying
Word
to
like,
create
oh
the
gosh,
word
yes,
like
that would let
skunk.
you do any word.
It would have been
Yeah.
perfect.
Yep.
And then I just totally forgot about it because we're talking about the games. Like, oh no! And then I looked at my sheet and I was like, how am I going to work this?
That was a
in?
good recovery. It worked pretty
Thank
well.
you.
It worked pretty well.
Was,
I think it made
I
me
was
laugh out
stressed and
loud when
sweating.
I heard it, and I don't normally hear them. So
you did. Okay, so why don't we do Tron?
you like Tron? All right. Ruel is saying
I will do
Tron
Tron.
at some point during this top 10. You folks can listen for him. I haven't had to do one for a while, and I am not complaining. Tibby Baloo, I have not played Horizons. Spirit Island. I haven't played Spirit Island in years.
It's been a while since I played.
The fire and something or other. Shay ended up covering that on the channel. I had wanted to, but I just didn't have the time. So I would love to give it a try. But I haven't really paid much attention to it.
I haven't either.
Okay. Right. Okay. So Tron is the secret word. Let me confirm that my overhead camera is here. Right. Now, you know what? I think I'm going to pick this up now instead of having to lumber around while we're actually recording. Because this is crazy heavy. Oh. All right.
That thing is huge.
Oh my
wow.
Gosh. All right. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that a playmat? Wow.
Yes,
you got
it
a
is.
Playmat? Oh
Let's
my
see.
god.
So we'll start out like this.
That's great.
And I'll say, hey, Ruel, you see my best buddy here? And then we'll go like that. And like, oh, you still can't see it. It's too big to be contained. And then I'll go like this and turn it around.
Nice.
And then I'll open it, and I don't even know what I'm going to do. I haven't even given it any thought. Ugh. And then after that, but we're not done, folks. Not only does our sponsor, Crafting Kingdoms, have this very cool bag, the Adventurer, but they've also got a play mat. And then I'll turn on the mat and we'll play with that a little bit. Okay. So that is the plan, Stan.
Very
Alrighty,
nice.
back over here. Okay. And yes, this is a player mat. Really cool feature. They come with these little twist ties that you can cinch down and put your mats on here. Because, they aren't going to fit in the bag, but for people who have them, I mean, this has a lot of really cool features I have not seen in bags before. And I've covered quite a few over the years.
I love that. I didn't know that came with those little ties there. That's fantastic.
Yep. Okay.
Very cool.
This is the Adventurer. It is from, let me double check that. Is this the Adventurer bag? I should really say that correctly. Oh, you know what? Where's our front cover, Bob? Alrighty. Do they call it? Oh, it's too tiny. I can't read the text.
It says, I can't read it either.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think it does say. All right, so let me go to the actual page. Game found. This thing, I can't even see my screen now. Crafting Kingdoms. Alrighty. Crafting Kingdom bag. Will that work? Custom bags and playmats for board games by Crafting Kingdoms. Okay, there we go. Yep. This is called I believe it's the Adventurer. It is. It is called the Adventurer. Okay, cool. All right, the Adventurer from Crafting Kingdoms. Hey, Crafting Kingdoms. They're here in the... hello.
Hello.
This is really impressive, I gotta say. And I think it'll be very fun when I turn. I've left the LEDs off so they can go surprise. Have you been here the whole time? You've already heard the plan then. Okay. Congratulations so far. You're almost to 20K. That's pretty impressive.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that playmat. So
we've got right. So what am I thinking of? You're going to say Tron. That's the secret word. The top 10 games we're thankful for, and otherwise just a regular episode. You know what? I'm almost out of water, of agua.
Okay.
I'm gonna I'll be right back. You just entertain the folks for a bit while I pull this out of my ear.
Go get your water, folks. And folks, hello. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you again for joining us for the R&R Show. We'll be kicking things off here in just a second as Richard gets more water. What have y'all been up to? What are you playing? Let me know in chat. Thanks again for joining us, Crafting Kingdoms. I love the mat, and I mean, I haven't seen it in person, but just seeing what Richard's showing, the mat and that bag, fantastic. Really cool. Heroic Logic says, I need a bigger bag for my Arkham LCG. Oh, very nice. Current bag, that is a lot of LCG in a bag, my friend. Tippy Blue says they played Spirit Island and have Branch and Claw. Oh, okay, cool. Was debating on getting Horizons to add spirits. From what you say, I should focus on Jagged Earth. Yeah, I've only played the base game, so I wouldn't know anything about the Spirit Island expansions or the new Spirit Island at Target. But thank you, friends. Oh, OC Spectre says, when I was watching the video, I actually rewatched Rosetta Stone a few times trying to find skunk before I continued with the rest of it. Yeah, I had planned on saying skunk during Rosetta Stone, but you know, we're doing this live and just things fly out of my mind sometimes. To be or not to be blue. Whoever said that. Sorry. Was it Corte? No. Heroic Logic. Oh, I just totally lost it. Hey, Darwell on ours here as well. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you here. Okay, and hi. So okay, you got your water?
Yes, I am good. Jen went out. We were talking earlier about Thanksgiving treats.
Oh, yeah.
Jen went out and got herself a gluten-free crust because there will be somebody there who can't do gluten at all. So Jen's going to make a gluten-free apple pie special just for her.
Oh, that's nice.
I thought that was very nice. Cool. All right. Yeah. That's something else to be thankful for. Okay. Yeah. Then, so are you ready to go?
She is playing Dead Men Tell No Tales. Great cooperative game. Yes. Pandemic meets Flashpoint. Great game.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Definitely.
I was just hanging out with chat. Okay, we're back. We're
done with you, chat. And you can see that because I've turned on sorry, we cannot pay attention to chat anymore because we're about to start recording the show. Let's see. I need to put the other stuff on screen. I need to copy and paste all of these. Copy, paste, save. All right, so our little thingy's there. Our reminder is up there. So you ready to go?
I am good to go.
All righty then. One last sippy sip.
Okay.
Crafting Kingdoms. Crafting Kingdoms. The Adventurer. I don't believe the mat actually has a name, but it's the mat.
Okay.
Let's see. I think there were 6 colors in 8 sizes. Is Crafting Kingdoms still here? Crafting Kingdoms, was it 6 colors in 8 sizes? I believe it was. Of course, he stepped away just at that moment, obviously. All right, I want to get that right. Yes. He is. He's back. Here. He's back. Crafty King. For the mats, is it 6 colors in 8 sizes or 8 colors in 6 sizes? 8 sizes, 6 colors. All right.
There it is.
6 colors, 8 sizes. All righty. Cool. Save. Got that. Is the Adventurer. Okay, perfect. I am ready. I've got everything queued up. Okay.
Okay.
If I move this over here a little bit, that will help. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. No, I like the gag of it's so big you can't even see it. There we go. That's better. All right, you ready?
I am ready.
All right, then. Tron. Oh, right, which we'll talk about afterwards. Okay. Where are we? So I come over to that, and then we start the show. Hey everybody, this week's episode of the R&R Show is brought to you by Crafting Kingdoms. And hello, Ruel, how are you doing? That's a good start.
The best way to start. You know, it's even better that we're starting this way. It's just funny, you know, and look, I'm in a place with no games whatsoever. I'm back home. I'm so happy to be back home.
Yep.
Folks, you've heard, you know, I've been here. I was out of the house for almost 3 months due to plumbing issues, but they've gotten everything fixed. We're just waiting for all the stuff from storage to return. It'll be here in a few days. Thankfully, I cannot wait to get everything. I miss my games. I just miss the games, you know, and almost like my security blanket. But I do have some games in the closet here, and I have games, plenty of games to play to get me through. But anyways, It's almost Thanksgiving week. I mean, it is Thanksgiving week. It's almost Thanksgiving.
Yep.
How are you doing, Richard?
I'm doing fine, especially because I've got my good buddy here, the Adventurer from Crafting Kingdoms. This is actually on GameFound right now, and they're sponsoring the show. It's called The Adventurer, and this is a big boy. You can barely even see it on screen, even if I give myself. This has a lot of really cool features. It's crowdfunding right now, and it's so big, to show it off, I had to set up a new camera angle I've never used before. Let me go to this overhead view, and look at this thing. So, there are several really cool features about this. One of them is the flexibility and the variety you have, because it comes with 3 different sets of straps. Backpack-style straps, over-the-shoulder straps. You see one on front. And we've also got a pair of handle straps. And the reason there are all these straps is because they're not attached. You can snap them on however you want. You can have the shoulder strap go across or from one side to the other. I could actually take this shoulder strap off. This is kind of like a standard way you sling it over your shoulder, right? I could just go on ahead and unsnap it down here and put it over here on the back. And now I've got one that it hangs lengthwise like that in case you don't want your boxes to shift. And not only does it have all this flexibility, you don't care about over-the-shoulder straps? Hey, you can just turn it into a backpack because it's got all these on the back. So there's lots of different ways you can set it up. And other cool features about it, for people who love to take their mats, I mean, I've got practically a game convention's worth of games in here, which I'll show you in a second. But, the mats aren't going to fit, but it comes with these cool little things that you can roll up your mats, put them in, and then cinch it down, and you've got your player mats that you can carry around with you everywhere, too. So that's a really nice touch. Let me go on ahead and open it up. And, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff in here. Let's see here. Where's the zipper? It's waterproof materials, so you don't have to worry about going out in the rain. And hey, I'm the life of the party with Monolith and Terra Nova and Ortalum and Sumatra and a whole bunch of other games. But hey, it's not just these 7 big full-size games that I've got. There are games inside the front. I've got, oh my goodness, room for little tiny games, Farm Fuss, and let's see. Oh, I'm really actually excited to play this one. The latest from Shady Torbe, Stellarium. That's actually a medium-sized little box fitting in just these side pockets. And how about some Zombie Crisis? I'm not done yet. I brought even more games to the party, Ruel. Coming into the side things. Hey, Memory of Embers. And more. Do you feel like some sunset over water? That's a nice little one. You got room for big ones and little ones. Hey, how about Marvel Remix? Or if you prefer Star Trek Missions. There's still more, Ruel, that I'm bringing to game night.
Oh my gosh.
This never ends. Hey, here's Star Trek Pinball. If you don't feel like a Star Trek card game. Shapers of Gaia. All of this stuff. And because this is so flexible, the way that you can mix and match how you want the straps to go, it just gives you it makes it as comfortable as possible for you to carry it in whatever way works best for you. If you want to sling it over your back, you want to sling it over your shoulder, you want to just carry it on the side like an attaché case, you can do it because of all the flexibility of how you can put all of your different straps on. And it comes with all these straps. Really cool ideas. I've never really seen anything quite like it. The Adventurer. Phew.
That is so neat. And yeah, that is RahdoCon in a bag right
Yeah, definitely. Wow, but that's not all.
The little pockets. Oh, it's so cool.
That is not all, because Crafting Kingdom, in addition to fundraise to do the Adventurer bag, which, by the way, folks, one lucky viewer of this show can win. We'll tell you about that in a second, how to enter to win. Let's go back to the overhead view. I talked about how, hey, that's really nice that you can carry your mats around, right? On that little side thing. They're also putting out a new line of full table mats you can use. And it comes in, 6 different colors, 8 different sizes. It's really, really nice quality. A very, tight mesh fiber. I'm scratching with my fingernail. I'm not seeing any kind of scuffing on it. That's really nice. But I'm bearing the leads. I have never seen a board game mat do this ever. Are you ready, Ruel?
I am ready.
Boop. LED strip. Oh, yeah,
Wow.
this is so cool. I forget how many different colors you can just tap and cycle through. Green and blue and purples and reds and orange, and I think there's a gold in here.
Cool.
So you got all these different ones you can go with. Or you can go with, like, this is one where it's just like fading up and fading down between the different colors. Okay, there goes the green, here comes the blue. Or you can do more of a Christmas tree type thing where it's just like, the colors are just racing around. And there's a slower version of that too, where they're racing around a bit more slowly. And then there's the one where, okay, they're just moving around really slow, which I think is my favorite. But then there's another option as well, which is, we're back to the, I think there were 3 or 4 different animated ways you can go. But yeah, you can just set this to any color you want. It is so cool. Let's go for the Tron color. Let's get out your light cycles, obviously. Hey, Alexa, turn the lights off. And here we go, with just a few little spotlights. I mean, obviously it's not enough to light up an entire board in a pitch black room like what I've got here, but this is so much fun. I was mostly in the bag. They said, hey, well, we'll send you out a bag so you can, when we sponsor a show, you can show it to people and whatnot. That was really cool. Oh, you have game mats too? Okay, that's kind of nice. I didn't even know about this LED thing, but it's just about the coolest thing I have ever seen. I've just, when I'm done filming for the day, I just leave this on. And when we're walking around in the kitchen, we can say, oh, look at all the bright colors in the room and stuff like that. So neat. Alexa, lights on.
I love it.
There we go.
I love it. That's so cool.
Very, very cool.
Neat. Yeah.
Phew. Okay.
Yeah, something I've never seen as well. That's the first time I've seen LED and built into a playmat. That's brilliant.
Yeah, such a clever idea. And like I said, the sponsor of the show, Crafting Kingdoms, is running a Game Found campaign right now. You can follow the links down in the show notes. You can order, like I said, there's the different sizes and colors of the mat. They've got the bag, and one lucky viewer of this show is going to win their choice, a mat with or without the LED. I don't know why you wouldn't want the LED though, because it's really, really cool. Or the adventurer bag. Ruel, what do they have to do to win?
So, folks, you're going to watch this episode and keep your ears open because one of us is going to say the magic word. Now, Richard alluded to it. He actually said it. The word is Tron.
Yes.
So you're going to listen for the word Tron. One of us is going to say it, and then what you're going to do is take a note of the game that we're talking about, the game, not the word Tron, and then send that in an email to contest@rahdo.com. List the game, and then, that'll be your entry into the contest, and you'll be able to win.
Yep. And whoever you are, you will be the envy of all your board game friends. If they come over to your house and you surprise them by turning this thing on, or you take literally a mini convention's worth of games over to their house in a waterproof bag that is totally adjustable to be the most comfortable for you carrying. Really impressed with both of these products, folks. That's Crafting Kingdom. Thank you very much for supporting the show. And Ruel, with that out of the way, are you ready to be thankful?
I am very thankful for a lot of things. Honestly, the first thing I'm thankful is just being home. So it's so nice to be home again. I want to thank everyone who's sent messages, public and private, for your support. I really appreciate it. But yes, I'm ready to talk about games that we're thankful for. And, we came up with this idea. This is going to be a different type of list today, friends. Yeah. This is totally different than what we've ever done here, I think. And do you want to talk a little bit about the background as far as why we came up with it and everything?
Well, it's just, this is the week for Thanksgiving, which obviously is a traditionally American holiday. I know Canada has a similar version at some other time in the year. But, I think all cultures around the world do have time set aside where they want to give thanks for, all the good things in their life. And this was a bonus episode brought to us by Crafting Kingdom. Thanks very much to them. And it just seemed appropriate to spend a little bit of time not talking about all the latest, hottest games that have come out, or any of that kind of stuff, or, all the Kickstarters, but hey, let's just reflect. When I started doing it, my first thought was, this is going to be a hard list to make, because I'm just going to say my top 10 favorite games. But, I could have done that easily, but that's not really the case, because a lot of my games, I absolutely love them, but it's not like I have some kind of really personal connection with the game. And for me, the 5 I'm going to talk about, they all have a big meaning for me in my life, or the industry, or my channel, all kinds of stuff. And I assume the same is true with you.
Yeah, that's exactly how I approach it. Like, I was looking, I could have just gone with my top, 5 favorite games as well, but I was like, no, let's really think about this, and how has each of these games changed my life, either professionally or personally. Yeah. So I'm excited to hear the stories behind each of these the games here.
Okay. Well, then,
Okay.
without any further ado, let's get going with the top 10 games we're most thankful for, starting with our number 10, Ruel. What have
Yes.
you got?
Okay, our number 10 is Rap Gods. And this is a
Oh,
game
right.
that came out a couple of years ago. I backed it on Kickstarter. Well, actually, I got the Kickstarter Deluxe Edition after the campaign was over. So Omari Keel, the designer of the game, and as you can see there, that's my family and I playing it on the old days of our stream when we first started streaming at Live at 5. And oh, that's our dog Bruno who passed away. Rest in peace, Bruno. But that is Rap Gods. It is the coolest theme. I mean, I love hip hop. I love rap. And if you see there, that is a turntable, and it's the board, and you're basically it's set collection with hand management. And I want to say Omari Keel, there he is. He's actually in chat talking to us at the time. During the Black Lives Matters movement, he put up the rest of the stock of the Kickstarter that he had, and he put it up there. And he said, "Hey, I want to sell out the rest of these. I'm going to donate to Black Lives Matter." And it went viral. And all of a sudden, people were like, "Hey, Danny Quach was the first one to say, hey, whatever people buy, I'm going to match."
Wow.
And then basically people were matching. The Brothers Murph threw him some money. I bought a copy. And then at the very end of it, I think it was Isaac from Isaac Childress said, "Hey, I'm going to, whatever you guys raise, I'm going to match it." And he ended up raising like almost $50,000 for Black Lives Matter. It was amazing. And this, I mean, number one, it's, a game by a game theme you don't see very commonly. You also, this is an African American designer.
Yeah.
We don't have too many of those. The theme and just the fact that all this money was raised for a great cause. It meant so much to me. It could have easily been my number one. And the gameplay, it's solid, folks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gateway-ish style game. But this is the type of game that younger generation. I mean, we're of a different generation, but I think anyone can enjoy this. It's a really solidly designed game. You're going around the track, trying to collect sets of items, and also you're building your timeline. This timeline is really cool. It's like your rise as a rapper to the top of the rap game. It's so interesting, so thematic. And I love it so much. That's why it's our number 10. It means so much to me, Rap Gods.
Wow, that is an excellent one. That is a very, very tough act to follow, quite frankly, I have to say.
Yeah,
for folks, if this is
my number one.
Yeah, if this is the first time you've seen us, our top 10 is actually my top 5 and Ruel's top 5, and we just kind of back and forth between them. After we're done with this, we're going to continue filming in the extended edition of our show, which you can hit that eye in the top right corner screen or follow the links down in the show notes. You could just jump right to the end of the show where we will talk about our number 10 through 6. And I have something, I think it was my number, it was one of my higher ones on the list that is the same basic idea where the developer came together with the community to try to go just beyond the realm of board games and to really change the world in a positive way. So I've got a couple of those as well, although that's an amazing story. I didn't know that about Rap Gods at all. And that's incredibly cool. Number 10.
Yeah, very
Rap
thankful.
Gods.
Yeah,
Yes.
very thankful
Now,
for that. Okay,
let's
move
go
on to number 9.
To number 9. Yes. Now, this one, let's see here. Where is it? This is a smaller story. This is just a personal story. I am personally very thankful for Pursuit of Happiness. I am really, really in love with this, admittedly fairly straightforward worker placement game, which is all about a life well lived. It's kind of like the old, was it Milton Bradley Game of Life, but turned into a modern Euro where you're doing really smart and really interesting worker placement too, because your workers actually represent the passage of time. The more you place your workers, the older you get. And this game, charts your life from childhood to old age and death. And the reason I'm so thankful, there's a couple of reasons. One, it is designed by a friend of mine, Dave Chirkop. This was his first really big hit, and you really kind of put him on the map. And in fact, actually, the success of this game ultimately led him to, I helped him a little bit, getting a job in the video game industry. He got a job in the video game industry based off the design of a board game he did. And that's always a really personal and powerful thing for me because I knew it was like his life dream. He was working working as a podiatrist, working for the Maltese government, but he wanted to become a video game designer. And I said, well, you publish this. Here's how you pitch it to a video game developer like I used to be to convince them that you're the right man for the job, and it worked. So, for me, it has a really important story there because I love Dave, and I'm so happy he went on to be big and successful there. But the other thing I love about this game is the stories it tells. It is rare that Jen and I have not played this game with or without any of the expansions, that by the end, we're not getting misty-eyed. We're not really starting to reflect on our own lives and our own relationships, because this game does everything. There have been, the video I'm showing right now, which is an exclusive video for Patreon backers of the show, Jen and I, we had to stop talking near the end because I was describing, well, thematically, here's what's happening in my golden, the golden time of my life, and I'm having one last dance with the love of... And I can't talk about it now because I'll start crying. This game really it's a simple worker placement game. You could just think about it in terms of, I'm converting one resource into another, whether it's knowledge or, money or whatever it is. But, it is, this is a game where you don't spend all your time killing or, questing or building. This is a game where you spend all your time living. A life well lived. This game has a real important message, I think, and I absolutely love it, which is why I'm very, very thankful for the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, this has long been on my bucket list of games I need to play, and I love I can tell you're getting a little emotional,
yes,
and I love that. I love the fact that games like this exist, because they touch on we're not just like mechanically moving stuff around.
Not there's anything wrong with that. I love that.
Yeah, same here. There's nothing wrong with that. But the fact that there are stories that can be told. I love Rap Gods, which are the number 10. Mm-hmm. Same thing. You're literally telling the story of a rapper's life, going from starting as a just a street rapper or whatever, and moving on up in the record industry and so forth. So Pursuit of Happiness. I need to play this. It looks fantastic.
Excellent.
Thank you for sharing that.
All right.
Okay. Let's move on to our number 8. Excuse me. Our number 8 is going to be coming on screen just a second. It is Luzon Rails. And this is a game by Robin David. It was out on Kickstarter a couple of years ago. And it unfortunately hasn't gone to retail, but I believe there are still copies you can get either through him directly or on the secondary market. But this one I'm thankful for because, number one, it's set in the Philippines. Michelle and I are, our heritage. We are both proud Filipino Americans, and there are a very small handful of games with either some kind of a setting or even talking about the Philippines. But this one puts it smack dab in the middle. We are on a big board of the Philippines. This one is actually, the board is so big I had to turn it sideways to fit it on our screen here. But it's a Cube Rails game, which is I'm a new player of this genre game. It's not quite 18xx. It's not that heavy. But it is a train game, and it is stock manipulation.
So it's like a gateway to 18xx.
Gateway to it, yes. Okay. But it's still a little crunchier than your standard. This is definitely no Ticket to Ride, folks. This is the next step up past Ticket to Ride. What I find really clever about this, there are actions that you can see. You can see on the right side of the table there. There are action cards you're going to pick. You choose an action, take it off board, and after each round, you're going to shuffle them up, and they're going to come out. Different ones are going to come out, and you get to play them. You have a few in your hand as well. And what you're trying to do is manipulate stock. You are going to connect routes throughout the Philippines, and then as those get connected, the price is going to go up. So it's that whole, can you manage it to be able to buy low and sell high? That's just like any other stock game, but there are really clever touches. As you're building the terrain, it's going to be tougher to build in certain parts of the Philippines because terrain's going to make it more expensive. Sure. Oh my gosh, I love this game. I really think Michelle and I greatly enjoyed this, not only because of the theme, but also the gameplay. It's smooth, silky smooth. Robin David, he's done a couple of other games. He's done this one. He did the very underrated roll and write game called Tag City, which I loved. It's like you're a graffiti artist and you're actually, rolling and writing, putting together like Tetris style pieces. He's a smaller, not as well-known designer, but his games are excellent. And Luzon Rails, if you're looking to get into train games that are more than just Ticket to Ride, friends, this is a good one. And speaking of Ticket to Ride, me and Michelle actually use our Ticket to Ride trains just sort of as an upgrade. Rather than the cubes, we're like, we can use these here.
A little bling doesn't hurt, yeah.
Yeah, it's our own way of blinging it out. But again, the theme, I believe Robin David is not Filipino himself, but I believe his wife is Filipina.
Ah.
And he actually used a Philippine artist as well. Oh, culturally, it just means so much to me that I can play a game. Now I'm getting choked up thinking about, where my folks came.
Wow.
They came to we love being, we're so proud to be American, but we are also proud to be Filipino. And this is why it means so much to me. I'm thankful for Luzon Rails, our number 8.
Wow, that is beautiful. I'm ashamed to say I've never heard of it, but it sounds really clever. It sounds really cool too. That card draft, the derives that you can do, that seems really sharp. Can folks see this run through on your channel?
It is. It's on my. It was on my Twitch channel. It is on my YouTube channel. Now, here's the thing. It is a 3 to 5 player game, but he did include a 2-player variant, which works well. Excellent. It works really well. You're basically playing against a dummy player, and you do actions to block off certain spots. But oh my gosh, I was just gonna say, we're just gonna end up crying this whole episode.
I will try to keep it cool, Daddy-O, but we will see. Alrighty then. Well, that was a very nice number 8. Let's move on to number 7. I think this one will be a bit of a surprise and kind of out of left field. It's Manhattan Project, the Energy Empire, Cold War expansion, specifically. And there's a reason for that. First of all, Manhattan Project Energy Empire is just an incredibly rockin' worker placement game. One of the best. In my top 10 worker placement games of all time. In my top 30 games of all time. Luke Laurie and Tom Jolly, a team that doesn't always work together, kind of an oddball team, came together and just made one of the greatest worker placement games of all time. About a theme I love, a bright green future. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for telling a story of being able to move away from, all our mistakes from the past and deal with it. But what really puts Cold War specifically on here, I don't know if you know this, Manhattan Project Energy Empire was originally published by Minion Games, which was headed by James Matthey, who was a legend in the industry. Everybody loved him. I mean, he always had time for everybody. He was an early person trying to help build the board game media sphere, trying to create resources so publishers could find new fledgling channels. Just the nicest guy, a pillar, a cornerstone of the community, and he sadly died a few years ago. And tragically passed away. And it was after the Manhattan Project Energy Empire Cold War finished its Kickstarter run. And it was like, oh, well, yeah, I guess he died. I guess we won't get that expansion. That's fine. I mean, we're not going to complain. We were really excited about it because, this new Cold War expansion adds a bunch of really interesting stuff. And this is not the first time this has happened. But I'm so thankful for this because Grail Games, a great little publisher, small independent publisher in their own right, stepped up, took over the project. I am certain at a pretty big loss at the end of the day to get it finished and get it into the hands of everybody. I've got my copy of it right over there because this is one of the last games I ever backed on Kickstarter, and I thought I'd never get it. And I'm thankful that I got it now, but I'm more thankful to what it represents because we have seen this happen several times when projects have fallen through and other publishers have stepped up and said, we will carry it across the finish line. And I think that is just incredibly beautiful. That is not something you see pretty much in any other industry. We are still a small enough niche little hobby that everybody knows everybody by name. And everybody wants to succeed, but not at the expense of everybody else. Everybody wants to help everybody else too. And the existence of this game really helps solidify that. It is for me a potent reminder of the power that board games have to bring people together, not just across the table, but to bring publishers together. Grail Games helped out. Because James' wife's supposed to. I have no idea what to do, folks. I'm at a loss. I've lost my husband. I don't know how to finish this. And Grail stepped up. And here's the beautiful capper to the whole story. This is the box cover. Grail did not put their name on the box cover.
Oh, wow.
They put Minion on the box cover. And
wow.
That's just classy.
Yeah. That's nothing but class. That's class. That's, oh. I didn't know this story. Yeah, yep. I didn't know the story. That was wonderful. What a... Yeah, just thinking about his wife and, what I can't even imagine having to go through that. And then, just as a the final part of his legacy to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's just so wonderful. And you're right about the board game industry. We're so fortunate to work in an industry where we do know each other by first name, and things like this happen all the time, and on a smaller scale basis.
Yeah.
Where publishers work together, and then we all want each other to succeed. It's not a cutthroat business. I mean, I cannot
Yet.
thank my
It will be
I'm
someday.
thankful for that.
I mean, someday
Maybe.
it will be big enough that, the tenor changes. But, I mean, we should all enjoy and love. And if ever you are frustrated because you think a publisher has screwed you because they're late on a game, remember, folks, everybody does this. Nobody does this to get rich. Everybody's doing it as a passion, a labor of love. And certainly that's what Grail did, getting our number 7, Manhattan Project Energy Empire Cold Wars, into the hands is, like I said, the final legacy for the great James Matthew.
What a wonderful! Thank you for sharing that. That I had no idea, and I think that's just nothing but class. You're right. Let's move on to our number 6, friends.
Okay.
Our number 6 is another surprise. I think Thanos Rising,
What?
Avengers: Infinity War.
What?
Yeah. Why am I thankful for this game, Richard?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm thankful for this game. My niece is MCU fan. She's she's in the MCU. She, loves playing games with her Uncle Ruel, thankfully, still does. And this game I had a few years ago, and I, had it, and she's like, "Hey, Uncle, can we play that?" I was like, "Of course. Anytime I'll play anything, anytime with my family." And we brought this out, and I'm thankful because we had one of the funniest moments. So it's a cooperative game, folks. You're, playing as the Avengers, trying to beat Thanos. He's trying to collect the stones. This is the Rising series of games by the App. They're wonderful. They have a bunch of different themes.
Yes.
They have Harry Potter.
Yep.
They have a Star Wars game, which I'm still trying to get my whole hands on because it's not in North America.
Oh, really?
They also have they also have a SpongeBob one. But anyways, Avengers. I love the Thanos figure. It's right there in the center. And what you're doing is playing cards and rolling dice. Very simple, not simple, but very straightforward set collection game. You're trying to get them, and then Thanos, every turn, he's going to be moving and attacking and collecting those stones, and if he gets all of them, then you lose. Me and my niece, we played for about 15 minutes, and we got crushed. We lost immediately. I was like, and, I wasn't sure if she wanted to play again. She's, we're both sort of bummed. And she's like, "Hold on, Uncle." So she runs out, and I was like, where'd she go? She went to get her mom's phone, and on her mom's phone, she came back, and she looked it up on YouTube, and she got the Avengers theme music on YouTube. A 10-hour mix. I didn't know it was a thing. And she's like, she puts it on, and just that classic theme comes on, and she's like, "Now we can play." I was like, "Yes." And sure enough, we got down, I kid you not, the very next day, we crushed Thanos. We beat him. And it was like, I'm thankful for that. That's what, board games are all about. That connection. I love my niece. I will never forget that story. She's a big, a Disney fan. She's, she's watching all the stuff I watch, Tron, Star Wars, all the MCU stuff. I love that we can connect that way, but we can bring that connection over to board games. And, I will always remember we went 1-for-1 against Thanos. We stopped after that, but I will always have that memory. And that's why I'm thankful for Thanos Rising, because me and my niece beat Thanos. And that's why we're thankful for Thanos Rising, Avengers Infinity War.
Hey, Ruel, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Which, there's your geek card, folks. If you understood what that meant, let us know down in the comments. You're like, "Why is Rahdo saying that?" Well, because we're both.
I was gonna answer with "I love you 3000," but I don't want any more tears being shed on the show.
Cool.
But yeah, let's move on
How
to number
old
5.
is your niece when this was happening?
At the time, she was still in elementary school, I think. So I don't know however old that is.
That is amazing to me. I mean, so what does that make her? 7, 8, and she was able to go out and pull up an Avengers playlist for you to play?
I know. I was
She's
just like,
a sharp
what?
little cookie there. Well done. Wow.
Yeah, way smarter than I was. She's amazing. So yeah, that's our number. I love it for that moment right then and there. But it's a solid game as well. Really cool cooperative game.
Okay, cool. Well, cool.
Okay.
All right, that's beautiful. I have a personal story like that coming up a little bit too. But the next one on the list, number 5 on the list, is another weird one. Another weird, oddball, quirky thing. It's Feierabend from Freedom and Freeze, 2F Spiele Games. And I would be surprised if anybody watching this says, "Oh, right, Feierabend." Because this was one of, Freedom and Freeze, the designer. Oh, man. Still, okay, this one I'm going to be able to keep it cool on. He's the designer of Power Grid. That's his biggest game to fame. Game name to fame. But ever since Power Grid, I mean, that was such a big success, he has always just been able to do weird, quirky experiments. Every game he puts out, I'm always excited to give it a try. Even when they don't quite hit with us, I'm still like, oh, I'm glad I saw that, because he's just doing really interesting off-the-wall stuff. And Feierabend is no different. Feierabend is a German word. It does not have a direct translation into English. It is the feeling of joy at the end of a day of work. It's Feierabend. It's kind of like a time of day. It's how you feel at that time. It's when you finally get to go home. Of course, it's also chosen that because every one of his games starts with the letter F. In English, I believe it's called Finishing Time, the English version of it. But why I'm excited about this, it's actually right here on Board Game Geek in the description. Workers try to relax in after-hour activities and fight for better working conditions. And this is really just a stand-in proxy for so many games that have come out over the years that are more than just pushing cubes around or rolling dice to slay plastic monsters, that actually have something to say, that actually have something to teach. And the thing about this game is, it's interesting, this is a worker placement game. You know, it's a really standard thing where, I've got all my workers, I, one by one put them out on the board, and then eventually I bring them all back, and put them back in the supply, waiting to go out again. The bringing them all back means going to work. And when you're placing your workers, it's like, I've gotten off work. I can go on vacation. I can go hang out at my apartment. I can do things with my loved ones. And this is a game, kind of like my earlier entry, all about, trying to get away from the rat race and really focus on what's important in life. Fun, friends, family, experiences. And this game turns that into a fun, crunchy Euro worker placement style game. And just that would be enough. But one of the actions you can do in this game, instead of just going on holiday or whatever, is you can, when they come off work, they can go on strike. And there's this whole little sub game where you can earn these strike tokens, and the more of them you have, they are literally the most powerful tool in the game, because they can literally change the nature of the game. If workers come together in this game and are willing to put their own free life, which is what they're, I could just go on vacation, I could just, and just go back to my skull-crushing job tomorrow, or I can actually stop making income, which you stop making money, to instead get the bargaining power that we get through our strike chips and fundamentally change the nature of the game. I love that story that this game tells. And, this is one of many. I could have easily made this entry This War of Mine. There's lots of games, or Freedom, the Underground Railroad. But this one speaks to me so much because, in our modern day, where unions across the board have been just so weakened and they're so embattled, to have a game that is an ode, a peon, and is a literal blueprint showing how they can make everyone's life better through communal, collective activism. I was just blown away when I played this game. I didn't expect this. I thought this was going to be a silly little game about going on vacation, and it can be, but there's a lot more to it, a lot more in Feierabend, and I'm just really thankful that Freedom and Freeze decided to make such a quirky, offbeat game that celebrates something that's just not as celebrated in our lives as it should be.
Oh, wow. What a great choice. Yeah, I've never heard of this game. I'm totally interested in it now. I love, I can't even say the word, but I love that word that it, captures that feeling at the end of the day.
Finishing Time is the English. I forget who brought it over to, to outside of Germany.
Yeah, I love the fact that you pick this game that you play and it's like, okay, it's probably gonna be this light little thing, but then all of a sudden it has that, again, a little more depth to it than you expect. That's great.
Yep.
Okay, great choice. Let's move on. What are we at now? Our number 4. This game means a lot to me, and I'll tell you in just a second. This is an older game called Dragon Run. I'm gonna mention 2 names. You may have heard them, folks: Bruno Cathala and Vincent Dutray. This is a game featuring Bruno Cathala design. It's a 15-minute game. It's a very light game. Basically, your adventures, and you're going in to loot and trying to avoid being burned to a crisp by the dragon. You're just
very pretty dragon.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool, and it's got a really cool dragon meeple as well. It's a very light push your luck game. You're trying to see, okay, am I going to get treasures? And at the end of the game, whoever has the most gold wins. The reason why I'm thankful for this is the first game I ever played at a game meetup. The first time I went to a game meetup, when I got into the hobby, 7 years ago, I just played games at home. I soloed games. I played games with my family, and then I finally got the nerve to go. Hey, there's a local meetup at my at
Oh
a
my
comic book
gosh.
store. Yeah, I was like, hey, I found it on BGG. There, people meet here. I'm gonna go there. I knew no one. At that point, I'd played Ticket to Ride, Pandemic, Zombie Dice, and a couple of Munchkin stuff like that.
And just
I
with your
went to
friends
this.
and family?
I had no, yeah, just the friends and family. I
Yeah.
had no idea what I was doing. I walked in there. I introduced myself. They said, "You want to play Dragon Run?" It's like I have no idea what it is. Let's play, and we had a great time. I just from there, I had such a good time. I played that and another game. I started going every week, and once a week I would show up every week, and I became one of the regulars. And I actually ended up becoming like sort of one of the leaders of the group there.
Oh, wow.
And it's because of this game. It was not only was it for me, it was easy enough to grasp. Again, I'm going from like Ticket to Ride and Pandemic, folks. We're not heavy games at all.
Right.
But this one was right around my wheelhouse, and I remember, I look back years ago. What else was everyone else playing? I remember there was a couple of guys playing Pathfinder. That probably might have melted my brain at the time.
At the time.
So I'm
Oh, wow.
thankful.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
So
could
I'm
have had a
thankful
very
I got-
bad first experience.
Exactly, right? So this is the one that really got my interest. And, by this time, and a couple of weeks later, I was playing stuff like Euphoria from Stonemaier Games and some other games. So I also found my first Knizia game, Samurai, at this meetup. So it's because of this one that got me in. It was, simple enough for me to play. Yet I had fun with it. We all had a couple of good laughs because there's different characters that you play. And one of the actions, this is the thing that made me laugh, and we always laugh about this because we have played it over the years. There's an action called Cry Like a Baby. So you can either charge in and fight, you can take treasures, or you can just cry like a baby and get 2 gold. And we always crack up about that. We reference that in other games. But again, I'm thankful for this because this is the first game I ever played at a game meetup. Dragon Run by Bruno Cathala with art by Vincent Dutray.
That is fantastic. I love that. Yeah, and I could totally imagine. I mean, I don't have a story like that because I started playing with Jen, and that's pretty much still what I do to this day. But yeah. I mean, yeah, if they'd been playing Mage Knight or Hansa Teutonica, you could have thought,
would have.
maybe I should just stick with Michelle and Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, I would have taken that action, cry like a baby, and then gone home probably.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm very, very thankful for my first experience with Dragon Run.
Well, that is fantastic. Let's move on to another one. Number 3 on the list is very near and dear to me and my wife, Jen. It's Dixit.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see here. Here's me and Jen and some friends of ours in Malta playing it for a live run through. Do I need to describe Dixit? I mean, it's maybe one of the ultimate party games. Somebody picks a word that is inspired by one of the cards in their hand. Everybody else tries to find a card that matches that word. We, shuffle them all up, reveal them, and everybody tries to figure out, well, which was the one that was mine when I came up with the word sarsaparilla or whatever it might have been. Super simple to play. And the reason, this is so important to me is not the gameplay, is not the amazing art. It is the fact that when Jen and I were living in Malta, there was a time when Jen's folks, her dad and her stepmom, would come over once a year and visit us. And we, as a foursome, would travel all over Europe and Africa, for that matter. And whenever that was the case, I would always try to take some games to play along. And Dixit, which if you want to, you can have Dixit be nothing other than just a deck of cards. You do not need the board. You do not need the markers. You just need the deck of cards and something to keep track of score. And, it doesn't have to be anything fancier than everybody just revealing 3 or 1 or 2. It doesn't have to be, any of the fancy components, just the cards. So it was like one of our ultimate, hey, just take this anywhere kind of games. And if we were ever found ourselves in a place where, we're sitting at a table with other people because we're in some kind of tour or something like that, what are we going to do? Well, I've got this deck of beautiful cards. You want to play some Dixit? So, I have played this game with Jen and her parents so many times, and we have so many fond memories of this from all over Europe and Africa. We played this on the Matterhorn. We played this on safari in Botswana. And the other thing, too, that is so meaningful, Jen's dad, who was actually an accounting professor, he never really showed any interest in any kind kind of game, no matter which ones I tried that had any kind of real calculations and whatnot. But he just really took to this, and Ed is his name. His brain is so different than anybody else's. Whenever it was his turn to come up with a word and then play and everybody's like, and we could always tell his, because his was the one card that had nothing to do with the word that he said, inevitably, without fail. And Jen and I still laugh about that to this day. So we just have so many personal family memories from this game. I could have also, at the same time, I could have put Hanabi in this space as well. It's almost a tie between the two, because that was another great one. And but that one led to some frustration, because Ed was never really, he would just give the same clue. Ed, you already told me about that one. You don't have to tell me again and stuff like that. Whereas Dixit was just about perfect. And it's why it is our number 3 most thankful game of all time. Dixit.
That's so cool. I love that you have so many different stories associated with one game, and talking about Gen Z, that's fantastic. That's what we're all about, friends. Connecting with each other over at the tabletop over different games, and the fact that you play this on the Matterhorn and also in Africa, and that's a well-traveled game, my friend. That's great.
Yes. Oh yeah, those are some beat-up cards. You can tell pretty easily the promo cards we've got are the ones from the expansions compared to the original deck.
Nice. Oh, great. Okay, let's move on to our number 2 game that we're thankful for. I'm going to assume that you've never talked about this following game on this channel at all. Lords and Ladies. This This is a card game, and it's sort of got that whole Downton Abbey feel, upstairs, downstairs, and I am playing the game there with Becca Scott and
Look at you all dressed up very fancy with no beard.
Yes. It's a fancy game. It's it's all about the Brits and their social circles and what you're trying to do.
Look at you! You weigh like 30 more pounds.
Look at that! You're trying to grow through generations.
Sorry, yes, talking about the game. Talking about the game.
Yeah. You're pairing up, lords and ladies to increase their family size and their influence. You're trying to marry up socially in order to get more points. You get gold coins, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most gold wins. I actually think it's a race to 30. But there's a lot of take that in this game, which you never would have thought. But there is take that. You play gossip cards because the social circles are gonna be talking about, so and so's got had a baby out of wedlock and stuff like that. So you play take that cards. The thing though that's interesting, if you play a gossip card, someone else has to play the exact same one. Then it becomes take that. If it isn't, then it doesn't take place. But here's the thing. Why is it my number 2 most thankful game for? I'm going to tell you this right now, Richard. If it wasn't for this game, I would not be here talking to you right now. Okay. This is the first time I ever got on camera to play a game or talk about a game or anything. I was working for Geek and Sundry at the time, but I was a writer. So I wrote articles about games. I interviewed store owners, stuff like that. My editor at the time, Terry, shout out to Terry, she said, "Hey, Ruel, would you ever want to be on Game the Game with Becca?" I was like, of course. I mean, you're going to pay me to go hang out with Becca Scott and play games, or you're going to feed me, you're going to play me. I mean, this is like, a Real On Studio, Legendary Studios owned Geek and Sundry at the time. I don't know if they still do, but I went to the studio, I spent a whole day there, and I got to know everyone, and Becca, we just a wonderful host, wonderful person. I became friends with her and the director, Jake Michaels. They invited me back several times on the show. Yeah. And it just gave me the confidence to say, hey, I can be on camera. And, I was nervous as heck. I don't know if you can tell there, but I was so nervous. And I was like, just play the game, enjoy. And, it's because of that experience I decided, hey, when the pandemic hit, I asked Michelle and Lauren, you want to live stream games?
Wow.
And everything I know about hosting a game, I learned from Becca. I kid you not, because she is a pro. She's pro's pro. Just, if I can even do it 1/100th of as good as she did, then I'm doing an okay job. I look at her as a mentor, and it's, because of the confidence I built and just the fact that they invited me back so many times, and, I was able to say, hey, I'm going to live stream a game now, and I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and so that's why it's my number 1 game that I'm thankful for, because it put me in this chair right now. Being able to work with you for the last year is because of my experience on Game the Game.
Wow. And is the game good?
It's okay. It's I'm not gonna try to. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest game. It's not the worst game for me. Honestly, the thing that is a little, and you could fix this. It goes on a little too long for what it is.
Okay.
It's very light.
Mm.
It's about 45 minutes. It should be a 20-minute game, honestly.
Yeah.
But there are ways to fix that. We played the whole game for the video, which is fine. But the thing that made it a lot of fun was just the role playing. Like
Sure.
you're doing,
Yes.
You
Dressed
just
up
get
like
in the
that
character.
too.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. So for a fun light game, I definitely recommend just find a way to shorten it, which is just play with fewer points. That's all. But that's our number 2, Lords and Ladies.
Okay, that's an excellent one, but we saved the best for last. I know this would
Yes.
probably be a pretty important game for you too. But yeah, number 1, you know what it is, right? It's probably not a big surprise.
I was gonna put it on my list. Yeah, I was gonna put it on my list, but
we haven't figured this out. Ruel, what do you guess my number 1 most thankful game is?
Pandemic, right?
Hey, good guess. Good guess. Yup. And I mean, this is my origin story game. I mean, Ruel just had a couple of, different ones, but, actually, like by count, like 3 or so. But this is the game. For folks who don't know, if you do a search on Google for Rahdo First 10 Games, I tell the story in great detail about how I was looking for a game for my wife and I to play while we were going to be doing a road trip through France. And I was just looking for a copy of Travel Scrabble, but I accidentally found myself in a game store, Blue Highway Games in Seattle, Washington, and they said, I will not sell you this Travel Scrabble. You tell me who you are, what you like, and I'll find the right game for you. And they gave us Pandemic. And Jen and I, we had a great road trip, seeing Mont Saint Michel and all kinds of places on the west coast of France. But none of that held a candle to rushing back to the camper van every night to play Pandemic and lose again under a fluorescent light. And when we got home, I mean, that just changed the direction of my life completely. That was when I was still a full-time and very ardent video game player and maker. I was a creative director in the video game industry. But within 2 years, give or take, of playing Pandemic for the first time, I had retired from the video game industry because board games had so thoroughly and completely supplanted any love or enjoyment I could get out of playing video games, because board games are just so much better for my taste anyway. And I owe it all to just a lucky happenstance that I happened to find that clerk who refused to sell me Travel Scrabble. I did end up getting a copy of Travel Scrabble too, and we did take it, and we didn't play it once. I still hold on to it as a representation of the road that could have been. But Pandemic put me on the best road for me and my wife living our best lives. So I am forever, and I've told designer Matt Leacock this in person and embarrassed the heck out of him, how he completely, radically changed the direction of my life for the better. And I'll be forever thankful to Pandemic. Never mind the fact that it's absolutely an amazing game, and Pandemic Legacy Season 1, which we're showing here, has also given me the single greatest gameplay experience of any genre, of any game type of my entire life. Pandemic, number 1.
Yeah, no surprises there. Pandemic also, folks, real quick, that's the game that got me into the hobby as well.
Yep.
I watched it on Will Wheaton's tabletop. I said, that looks cool. I bought a game as a present to myself on my birthday. Michelle and I played it. She didn't really enjoy it as much as I did, but I ended up soloing it for a month straight, and that pretty much launched me into the hobby.
So this would have been on your list, but you knew it was going to be on mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, and I love that, again, that story. It's the story, the connections, and how our lives have changed, for the better because of board games. There's something about that, these little bits of cardboard and dice and meeples and stuff. Heck, they changed our lives, and I cannot be more thankful for all of these games. So,
and not for nothing too, Pandemic, I'm also thankful that it is a game. It came out in 2008, 2009, that said, hey, how about we have a game that celebrates something other than heroes slaying monsters or rich people getting richer? Which were really, those are the two things you could do. You could be a wizard fighting monsters, or you could be a captain of industry getting richer. And hey, how about we just be first responders, bravely saving the planet? How about we make a game about that? Really ahead of its time, Pandemic.
Seriously, the true heroes, right?
Yes.
The true heroes of everyday life, and let's put them front and center. I
Celebrate
love that too. The scientists,
Yes.
Love it.
All right, well, that's it, folks. Our 10 favorite games, our 10 games we are most thankful for. And were you listening? Did you hear one of us say the word Tron at some point? And I put on the Tron colors. Let me go back over to the overhead view one more time. I've got mine set to Tron. It's not now that we're saying Tron, but on one of those 10 games, Ruel Ranks said Tron. And if you heard it, then send the name of that game as the subject to contest@rahdo.com to win either this awesome mat with the LED stripes. Let me turn the sparkly lights back on just to celebrate a little bit more when they start animating. There we go. Or let's not forget this absolutely amazing, one of the best gamer bags I have ever seen, with all the flexibility it has, the Adventurer, with the way that you can actually strap your game mats on, the way you can reconfigure the straps so they work for you better, the endless amounts of storage and sub-storage that it has, the waterproofedness, a lot to be thankful for right there from a sponsor of the show, Crafting Kingdoms. And if you want to win this or that, folks, get that email going and send it in, the name of the game in the subject, and we will enter you to win on the next time we film an R&R show. And, oh, by the way, I should say, folks, if you're looking at it now, you're saying, hey, why don't I see them now? Remember, my camera is low so that I'm kind of above it. This is like, if you have your eyes down like this, you can't really see the color around. But if you're sitting up or standing, I can see it just fine. So just wanted to mention that. That's why I had the overhead camera so you could see. Phew. Ruel, yeah. Are we Dunsville?
We are Dunsville for now, and we just want to say thanks again to everyone for joining us. And if you celebrate, have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yes, definitely. And if you would like a little bit more, folks, hit that eye in the top right corner screen or follow the links down in the show notes to go to the extended version of this. You will be able to skip to exactly the end of this show, because right now we are leaving this show behind, but in the extended version of the show, we are telling our other top 10, our numbers 10 through 6, and then that man is actually going to be live streaming Helionox Chronicles, which is ending its run on Kickstarter very soon. So if you want to check that stuff out, you'll be able to see all of that. But that is it, folks. Thank you, Ruel, for being the best co-host ever. Thank you, audience, for being the best audience ever and for supporting the show. And of course, thanks to a sponsor of the show, Crafting Kingdoms. Have a very nice day, everybody. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye. Done.
Ooh.
Woo-hoo.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, I didn't expect to get so emotional during the show.
Yep.
Wow. Okay,
yep.
Cool.
It was a 10 hanky alert this episode.
Seriously.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's keep it simple because you got to get ready to play. In fact, actually, do you want to start setting yourself up? Because we have to do a test now.
The other games that weren't on the list real quick.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that first. Okay.
So I'll do mine real quick, 10 through 6.
Yeah.
It was number 10, Ship Shape. Thankful for that one. Rob Davio game that's totally overlooked. Came out a couple of years ago.
But why are you thankful?
Abstract. Why am I thankful for that one? Gosh, why did I put that? Same thing. It was just connecting with friends and family.
Okay.
It's
right.
one of those games that plays 6 players and it goes by really quickly. Number 9 was Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. It's the Scott Alms game that's not tiny, but it is epic. It's huge. I'm thankful for this for a specific reason. I know that Roy Kennedy is a huge fan of that. He loves 4X games, and because of that, he was inspired to create his game, Last Light, which I think is going to be one of the best 4X games ever. His game, it does the 4X experience in an hour. It's so much fun. It's a great
That would have been another great game sommelier entry, but it's not available yet.
Yeah. Number 8, I was thankful for the game Fort, because I played the original Fort. It was called SPQF. And that game, it showed how great it was, but the icons and the art was just how great it was, but the icon, it was really tough to parse. But they did a really cool theme, very playful theme, and kept the great gameplay in Fort. Number 7, Wingspan, for obvious reasons, such a game changer in the industry, so forth. And my number 6, Marrakesh. Not the Stefan Feld one, but the one that came out like 10 years ago, the older one. Yeah, I'm going to tell you why that one, because it's a roll and move game. There are no roll and move games. That one does it right. It's a roll and move slash area control game. It can be a little mean, but we still play it as a family. It's a fun family game. But those are my 10 through 6. What about you?
I was expecting to see a Sid Saxon game on your list, quite frankly.
I was really close, honestly. I was really close to putting on.
Just thankful
actually,
for Sid.
Yeah, I was going to put a Sid Saxon, very close to putting on Reiner Knizia's Decathlon, the roll and...
Sure.
I was thinking about that one, and the Sid Saxon game, I was thinking about Can't Stop. because it's a classic.
Yep. Well, I had one similar. I was going to put Magic the Gathering in my number 10, not because I played the game a lot back in the day. Jen and I really got deep into it. We played tournament level games and stuff.
Yep.
I would not want to play it a million years now because to me it's so ancient and just not a good fit. I mean, Dominion kills Magic as far as I'm concerned, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm thankful that Magic exists because it's the reason the industry exists, quite frankly.
Yep.
I mean, Magic the Gathering is so transformative on so many levels, and it basically kept so many friendly local game stores afloat in the years before Kickstarter became the main distribution method of designer-style games. Number 9 was Voyages, which we've talked about who is it? I don't remember the designers. I think, was it Gilbert or Dunstan was one of them and somebody else?
Yeah.
It was a game that came out last year on Kickstarter. It was, hey, look, just give us $5 and we'll send you the PDF so you can print out this wonderful little roll and write. And, it's not the first they ever did it, but it was the first to be successful at it. And since then, there has been an explosion of people. Look, I'm just trying to make $500 here or $1,000 here. Just give me $3 and here's my game, here's my passion, here's my love. Yeah. And they basically created an avenue for an entire generation of people to be able to flex their creative muscle and make games. And I absolutely love it, and I'm thankful because Voyages made that possible. Number 8, again, I thought you were going to do a Sid Saxon. I was going to one-up you and say, I'm thankful for Yahtzee. And I was going to go back even farther because, again, I mean, the industry owes so much to that. The only, as far as I'm concerned, the only truly great classic family board game, forget about your Monopolies or your Sorries or or Clue or any of them, Yahtzee holds up to this day. And, of course, it is so woven into the DNA of so many big major hits. And I think the industry owes a debt of gratitude. Should be thankful to Yahtzee. Number 7 it could have been Messina 1347 or We Care. Either one, because those were both games that came out during the pandemic, and both of them had portions of their sales go to Doctors Without Borders. So it was very much the same thing you had with Rap Godz. So I had one as well. They didn't quite make as big a splash, as I had no idea that all happened with Rap Godz, but it's the same basic idea. Developers, saying, look, I want to actually change the world other than just make another fun game to play. And then my number 6 was a 3-way tie between Helvetia, the first thing I ever filmed, on a whim because I saw somebody randomly on Board Game Geek and that led to where we are. Or it could have been Ground Floor, the first game that ever really got any attention for my channel because Penny Arcade mentioned it in a blog post. And so that was my first big hit video. Or it could have been Zulk in the Mayan Calendar because I got Zulk in the Mayan Calendar covered months before any other channel, back when there weren't many channels. And that 1-2 of Ground Floor and then Zulk in the Mayan Calendar really kind of put me into the upper echelon, such as it was 10 years ago, and or like real cornerstones of my early success. So I had to give thanks to both of those as well. Phew, that was a whole bunch of games to be thankful for.
Yeah, that's great. It's all, again, they all have great stories, but I'm glad that we went with the ones we did because those are really those stories that we talked about.
Well, those are the ones that made us blubber like babies, so they're
pretty much. Yeah, I think that's great, and it shows the power of board games.
Yes, very much so.
Okay, so I'm going to go take a quick bio break and get ready here. So are we going to cut to a break screen? Or?
Well, here's the deal. We've never done this before, folks. Ruel's about to do a playthrough of, maybe about to do a playthrough of Helionox. And our plan was just say, hey, just continue, right? Let's just keep going. And so what I've done is, let me see if this is working here. I have set up this page that, hey, it's like Ruel streaming. It's just that he is streaming to me via Discord, and then I am streaming from Discord onto Twitch, so that we don't have to stop the stream and restart. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. This could be very dangerous, quite frankly. But we could give it a go, or alternatively, you've got my stream key, so we could just stop and we say, hey, everybody, hang around for a little bit. Ruel will be back in 5 minutes, and he'll be streaming this game. I don't know. Do you want to gamble? I'm not sure if we should, quite frankly.
Really? Okay, yeah. If you're not comfortable with it, then we should probably just stick to how we would normally.
Here's the thing I didn't anticipate. I've got this extra little picture that I can't get rid of.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because this is I've just made Discord full screen.
Yeah.
Can I hide this thing? deafen focus? Nope, I can't. So this just,
No,
I
okay.
can't push it off the screen or anything. So that's just
Yeah.
weird having this little thing hanging around. All right.
Yep.
Well, that was a
Okay.
thought exercise we had, but it's not going to happen. Here's what's going to
Okay.
happen instead, folks. Ruel is going to go take a bathroom break. Say goodbye, Ruel.
Bye, everybody.
And where are we? And then I am going to chat with you folks for a little bit. And when Ruel says in the chat, hey, I'm ready to go, I'm going to stop the stream. He's going to start the stream, and he's going to play Helionox Chronicles, and you will have a great old time, because as he said right up front at the beginning of the show, he's got the new components that I did not have when I did a run-through for. So if you'd like to see a really cool deck builder where you work to save the solar system from the sun collapsing, you'll want to check this out. So that's going to start in a few minutes after he goes on break and is sure that he is ready to stream. And in the meantime, then, what we're going to do is I am going to, I don't need Discord anymore. I'll just go ahead and minimize that, and I'll see if you folks have any questions. We'll do a little bit more Q&A if you've got any questions for us. Now, and you know what? All right, just ask me questions right now, folks. I'm not going to bother with having to do the question mark and all that, although I'll see if any are in the queue. Let's see, I have to re-log in because I closed it a bit ago. All right, and it looks like, hey, all right, that's a good question, B. Travis72. What game would benefit from a retheme? Any sports game? Any game about... Let's see, okay, no, I could go very broad like that, but let's go specific. Let me pull up the Board Game Geek Top 100. That'll be a good metric. Let's just go to BoardGameGeek.com, and I will narrow it down. Where is it? I come over here, and I click on that, and I click on this. I say browse, show me all board games, and now we are looking at the top 100 board games of all time. Which of these do I think should be rethemed? Twilight Struggle's really good, but my wife really hated that theme. So for us, I'd like to play it with her, although it is kind of probably a bit too wargame-ish, so probably not that one. Nemesis looks really cool. And the thing is, Nemesis is just trying to recreate the Aliens experience in board game form. And I'm just being selfish. I wish that was like a high fantasy setting so that my wife would enjoy playing it with me, because I would definitely like to try Nemesis. But my wife will never play it with me as long as it will literally give her nightmares by reminding her of James Cameron's Alien. So that's always a problem. So that would be one. Let's see here. What else? Boy, every time I see anything based on the works of Arkham, what's his name? H.P. Lovecraft, I'm always thinking, did it have to be H.P. Lovecraft? I know it's free, but, geez, the baggage that comes with it. If games could do H.P. Lovecraft the same way that Lovecraft Country did, where it actually grappled with the subject matter, the origin, the author of all of it, that would be really great. But, can't complain too much. I guess you're kind of taking it back, right? So that's probably okay. What else? Puerto Rico, of course, got a wonderful retheme. That would definitely be one I would mention. But it got the beautiful retheme to make it set, 30 years after the original game, when it was a free country and they were trying to rebuild after colonization. So that's a good one. But it's already been done. Let's see here. No, you couldn't have Blood Rage be anything but Vikings, could you? Right. All right, I'm at 50. And so far, I've mentioned a couple that I think could have been cooler. Oh, you know what? It's not in the top 100. It's not anywhere, but I'll mention one that really drives me nuts. It just popped into my head. Reef. Reef is 100% abstract. It's a beautiful little game where you've got these really cool pieces. We just talked about this last week. And the thing is, they don't even bother trying to give it a theme. You're just like, oh, you're just a disembodied force of nature trying to make coral reefs grow. But with the tiniest bit of work, the developers could have made this about actually trying to repopulate reefs, because there are scientists out there in the world doing what you do in this game, purposely, specifically trying to get specific elements of coral reefs to grow and interact to basically regenerate coral reefs around the world. And it drove me nuts when I played Reef that they didn't do that so they could actually tell a story about heroic scientists trying to save the world rather than making it a purely abstract. They wouldn't have to change anything other than give it a really cool setting, and they didn't. So that's my number one choice for games that need a retreat. Is Ruel back yet? I do not see him yet. So let's see. Have anybody else? All right. Nope. Okay. So none of you have asked any questions. Oh wait, no. Tobacco did a good, fun, and crunchy 2-player game. No, we actually talked about that one anyway, didn't we? Because we talked about our top 10 2 players earlier. Let's see here. And Ruel's not here, and you folks are being quiet. Ask me questions. I am here ready to answer them. Let's see here. I'll just scroll through and see if there's any questions. Actually, can I do a Control F? No, I can't. Beedly-doop. Let's see. Oh, and that was just... right. Okay, nope, that was just... boy, I am not used to trying to fill time. How can I fill time if you folks don't want to... I mean, there's 50 of you. You could answer... Oh, yay, victory! Ask me a question. Okay. I don't know what to do if you don't have questions for me, folks. I'm hopeless. Alrighty, let's crunch that one, and let's see here. Any good campaign games for Christmas that you can play in an hour or less per mission? Well, the big campaign I want to start playing is Frosthaven. That is not an hour or less per mission. Interestingly, it's funny you should mention that. Of course, Helionox is a game you can play less. It has a campaign, and you can play less than an hour per mission, but that's not going to be available to anybody till next year. Let me think. What do I like? Let me go to top.rahdo.com and just look through. All right, so games that are quick playing that feature some kind of campaign play. Oh, was it right here? No, it's not. But I'm thinking from Alexander Pfister, Cloud Age. If you're playing a 2-player and you get good at Cloud Age, you can get that game done from start to finish in under an hour, and it has a nice little campaign, so I guess I would mention that one. Oh, and of course, easy peasy. Again, Alexander Pfister. The Oh My Good series with their expansions, because they've added 2 different campaign expansions, and also Tybor the Builder had a built-in expansion too. Those are all games that have nice little 6 or 8 chapter expansions, or mini expansions that have 8 chapters that you play through a story, and there's choices you make, and it evolves the world. I would highly recommend those. And with that out of the way, I will unpin these messages, because I think I just heard a beep from Ruel saying, all right, he's got, right, for him to stream to my channel, he needs a secret code, which apparently it's going to send me any second now, the security code that we'll need. So, log in, Ruel, and I'll get you that code, and then we'll be ready to jump over. Although I'm very proud of myself, I thought of something. All right, what, says Daryl, are some of my favorite, what was it? I need to make this bigger. I suddenly can't see it anymore. My favorite expansions for games. Let's see here. Well, I'm still not getting a security code for you. How exciting. Are you sure you need it? Because you got one from me earlier. Maybe you can just get in without the security code? Maybe. You'll tell me in a second. Alrighty, what do I need to do? I need to go to games.rahdo.com, right? But then, I need to go to ranked.rahdo.com. But then I need to change it, because this is a list of all the games I own that are games, but I need to say, no, not games, expansions, please. And I have to say not owned, but pre-ordered, because it's a whole thing, which you can read about at faq.rahdo.com. So, expansions that I love. Of course, I've never ranked them, obviously, so that's not great. Let's rank them by what Board Game Geek ranks them. Let's see. Of all the expansions... what? Oh, okay, there we go. Geek ranking. There we go. So, of all the expansions I own, Board Game Geek says Wingspan's European expansion is the best. It's a good expansion, but no, I wouldn't say so. Dominion Prosperity, that's not even the best Dominion expansion. Scoundrels of Skullports, I would say, is a very good expansion for Lords of Waterdeep, because it really does take it to the next level and makes it a viable Gateway Plus game. So I'm thankful for that. Let's see. I really do like, On the Brink might be my favorite, even though nobody else likes it. I think the Hidden Trader mode in Pandemic on the Brink is fantastic. Feast for Odin's the Norwegians might be certainly in my top 5 favorite expansions of all time, because it fixes Feast for Odin. Feast for Odin was not a keeper for me. I was so disappointed by some of the design decisions there, and the Norwegian expansions fixed them and made the game better than I could have imagined. So that one ranks very, very high for me. Same for Lost Ruins of Arnak, the Expedition Leaders, because I wouldn't say Lost Ruins of Arnak is a keeper. unless you have the expeditions because you needed so much more stuff. Ruel, anything happening? I don't hear from you. Let's see. You last said 3 minutes ago that a code was going to be sent. Oh, a code has been sent, Ruel. A code has been sent. Okay. I don't know why it didn't make any sound because I had it open. All right. Da-da-da, da-da, All right. Did I type that in the right place? There we go. Yeah. I'm feeling like I should not tell anybody else that code. Not that you have my stream key or anything like that. Of course, did I? No, I just need to put that on the list. I don't think I did anyway. Okay. Let's see. Let me know, Ruel, if... all right, okay, Ruel is saying, okay, good to go. And hey, there were a few expansions I really love for reasons and somewhere I completely disagree with the Board Game Geek at large community. Okay, folks, I am going to hang up. Just stay here. Within probably 60 seconds, you will find Twitch just automatically starts the next stream, which is Ruel playing Helionox, playing a campaign game that can be finished in under an hour to that previous question. And I think it'll be a good old time. So I am going to end the stream now and hold on to your butts, folks. We'll be right back.